In certain extreme situations, the law is inadequate. In order to shame its inadequacy, it is necessary to act outside the law, to pursue natural justice. This is not vengeance. Revenge is not a valid motive, it's an emotional response. No, not vengeance. Punishment.
Tonight we have a chance to say, yeah, you're right. We're too extreme, we're too wild, we're too out of control, we're too full of our own shit. Or we have a chance to say, hey, fuck you, you're wrong. Fuck you, we're right. Because you have all made it to the dance. Because believe me, this is the dance. Start the show.
Good evening, Bottle Duck. Welcome to the show. Hey, everybody. I'm back in Riotsville, USA, Minnesota. Going on? Here we go again. You know, Monday we had our governor say he's not going to run for a third term because he's neck deep in fraud. Then Tuesday he humiliated us with a tantrum of a press conference. And now today, federal troops shot a white lesbian lady in the fucking head. I mean, you gotta give us this. It's scary how good Minnesota is at keeping itself in the news. And the Vikings aren't even in the playoffs this year. I do want to start off tonight's show by saying fuck Kyle Rittenhouse, that stupid retard. I wish he would have fucking went to prison at this point. That fucking ghoul. We got, usually like even cops, like I had a friend in Litchfield when I worked there who was a cop and he had to retire because of the mental problems he had from shooting a guy, getting in a shootout and killing him. It caused him, he had to take his pension early. And it stuck with him forever, and he openly talked about his struggles that he had with that. Rittenhouse capped a couple of people, and now on Twitter today he goes, "Oh, what do you guys think? Should I probably head on over to Minnesota?" Fuck off, kid. Like, honestly, it's all you've ever done in your life, and because of your lawsuits and shit, and because of conservative grifters gassing you up, it's all you'll ever have to do in your life. Fuck off. We got it. You're the shoot people guy. I'd fucking kick your ass. Shut up. I'm sitting here thinking George Floyd 2.0 is going to pop off in Minneapolis. And here you got this little fucker going with his fucking chipmunk face. Oh, shit ain't what you guys think. Remember me? I'm the shooting skateboard guy. Really? Yeah. Head on over. It's federal fucking troops this time. I don't think there's going to be... It's not going to be so much fucking around, more finding out. Rittenhouse honestly thinks that he would go to Minnesota and the ICE agents would be like, "You with the fucking rifle on the ground. I'm Kyle Rittenhouse, guys. I'm on your side." Boom, 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 boom. You know what? On second thought, maybe Rittenhouse should go to Minnesota. I always did. Look, I was on his side during that trial, but Jesus fucking Christ, is he an obnoxious nerd. It really gave him way too much confidence. But at any point, at any rate, him tweeting, "Should I go over to Minneapolis?" Yeah. ICE is going to be like, "Oh my God, you guys, that's the Rittenhouse guy. He's one of us. Let him in." What do you think they're going to do? Fucking deputize you, retard? Shut up. Go enjoy your millions of dollars from CNN or whoever the fuck it is. Leave the rest of us alone. Or go to Minneapolis. Quite frankly, I don't give a shit. I'm going to watch all this shit from 70 miles away and see how it works. But look, we're going to go through this. Some of you are going to like my take. Some of you are going to hate my take. Some of you will in between. I believe I have a very nuanced take about what happened today so far based on what we know. I mean, I will preface it with, I don't know shit. You don't know shit. We really don't know shit. We weren't there. And really the only people who have a good chance at knowing right now are the people who were there. But I have a very nuanced opinion of what happened. So that means that everyone's going to hate what I have to say. And they're going to shit all over it. Yeah, Rabbi Smoothie's right. I'm here parked out by the lake, 80 miles from Santa Fe. I'm sitting here just parked out by the lake. So we're going to get into all this. We're going to watch all the videos, watch all the clips. I don't think Tim Walz is helping. I don't think Kristi Noem is helping. I don't think Jacob Frey is helping. I mean, these are the same cast members, essentially, we got from the George Floyd riots, and none of them have learned anything from it. Hey, maybe we should de-escalate and talk people down a little bit. Get the fuck out of Minneapolis. Jacob Frey trying to look tough is as painful as watching him eat Somali food. He's the worst. Tim Walz, this just lets him jack off his blue chew Trump boner even more, as if he hasn't done that the last couple of days. And, of course, Kristi Noem has got the ICE agents back. But, I expect that. She has to. Those are her guys. And it's unfortunate because I think the truth is somewhere in the middle. There's many parts of this that I have a serious problem with. Now, I don't know how bad things are going to get in Minneapolis tonight. It just got dark here within the last hour. Usually shit doesn't happen when the sun's out. I do have the Status Coup News YouTube channel. They got about 500,000 subscribers. They had a live stream up for a while. Their live stream is still up there. They're just not filming anything at the moment. If anybody has a better one that we can watch for news, I will certainly accept those. I did like what I saw of it earlier, though. So here's what we got so far. ICE agents are in Minneapolis, and it's 2,000 of them, and they're here doing raids and taking illegals, and we found murderers, we found rapists, a lot of different people. It all coincides with the fraud stuff. Strike while the iron's hot, see what's going on in Minneapolis, investigate everything. This has been my problem with the Trump administration's deportations of illegals from day one. We're not getting mass deportations. And ironically, if we were doing mass deportations, we probably wouldn't see shit like this happen. He should be going to the packing plants. He should be going to the big corporate farms. He should be going to all of these places and rounding up illegals there. That's what ICE raids are for. This door-to-door shit is for show. This door-to-door shit is to do these small little nitpicky, grab a guy out of the house, perp walk him, everybody can film it. It's really more drive for show than it is putt for dough. We're not going to get the numbers that way. So a lot of this is kind of Hollywood to begin with. There's a lot of fuck around and find out here. Excuse me. I'm still having issues with soreness back here and whatever. Who cares? I would like to see the mass deportations. I would like to see them going in and getting illegals where they are instead of going into neighborhoods. I mean, it's ripe for this kind of problem. There's a lot of fuck around and find out going on here. There's fuck around and find out for ICE. There's fuck around and find out from the Minneapolis Police Department, for Walz, for Frey, and obviously for the woman who was killed. First of all, I'm not really going to take a lot of opinions seriously that start with, yeah, fuck her, I'm glad she's dead. She had kids. She was there protesting ICE. She made a mistake that, she's not going to regret. Obviously, she's dead, but she made in a tense moment, she made a knee-jerk decision. You're not going to be able to sell me. Let me tell you this. You're not going to be able to sell me on she was trying to kill that guy. That is complete fucking bullshit. If you're saying that to make yourself feel better about the traumatic thing that you just saw, that's fine. But She was not trying to run over that ICE agent. She was trying to turn away, drive away. She got scared. 37-year-old white lesbian lady, maybe never been in trouble with the cops before in her life. Probably a bad time to start. There's a fuck around and find out. Don't get involved in this ICE shit. These are heavily armed federal agents, probably more trigger happy than your local police. But she was not trying. Let's stop with the, she was a domestic terrorist who was trying to attack an ICE agent. She was turning her wheels all the way and trying to get the fuck out of there. Her fight or flight kicked in. She chose flight. She bumped the officer. He got out. He fired one through the windshield, fired two more through the window, got her, neutralized her. Should he, stand trial for murder? He should be investigated, and if he's brought up on charges, he should be tried. I mean, it was pretty fucking egregious. I don't think you can argue that his life was in danger. In fact, I know his life wasn't in danger, and I don't think in that situation he felt his life was endangered. I don't think you could ever convict him. I don't think you could ever throw him in jail. Now, let me say that before I really get into that part, he's a federal officer. The state of Minnesota has no authority. The federal government is the one that has to prosecute him, and they're not going to. So get that out of your head. No matter how good of a shooting, no matter how bad of a shooting this was, nothing's going to happen to this guy. I really wish that this woman wasn't dead. I really wish that now, this is someone who loved the idea of protesting, loved the idea of going there. And one thing Tim Walz was right about is he said, we're governing this country by reality television. And I think he's right about that, but I don't think he knows how right he is. This woman probably watched a lot of like Handmaid's Tale and other types of shit. And they were like, this is my chance to fight back. Revolution isn't for everybody. Protesting isn't for everybody. This woman should not have even been in that area. She shouldn't have been there. These are heavily armed federal troops with a one-track mind getting illegals. A 37-year-old middle-class white lesbian mom, that ain't someone who needs to be at that protest. I'm sorry. So she shouldn't have been there in the first place. She was out of her element. As evidence that now, what I believe happened is that this woman, you saw her, she was sideways in the road. I think she was trying to obstruct ICE and ICE vehicles. When the ICE agents went up to their car, armed, told her to get out of the vehicle, stop obstructing. That's when she panicked. The fight or flight kicks in. She tried to take off. She tried to turn the wheel all the way. She hit the ICE agent. We'll show you the slow motion. She bumped the ICE agent. He shoots one through the windshield, gets to the side, shoots two through the window. I thought potentially criminal Sean had a great tweet about what happened. He said, when a cop has a gun drawn on you, you do what they want. You don't do what you want. She tried to do what she wanted. There's a lot of fuck around and find out in what happened to this woman. But here's my deal. I'm really worried about the mental illness we collectively have in this country because as I go online, and hopefully the real world's different, when I go online, I see a lot of people going, well, she's a lefty or she's a right. Holy shit. I mean, if you think politics, if you think her political makeup matters in how you should think about this, we're too far gone. You personally might be it might be time to unplug from the Matrix. I'm feeling a little like, 1855 state patriotism. Forgive me, but I'm a Minnesotan. I don't want to see my state burned to the ground again. I don't want to see this spread to Atlanta and Chicago and Washington, D.C. and Los Angeles. So I don't give a shit if she was a Republican protesting Greta Thunberg. I don't know what the fuck she'd be protesting. Or if she's a liberal protesting ICE. I don't want federal agents shooting Minnesotans in the head in this state. I don't want, that's a bad look for the state of Minnesota. That's a bad look for ICE. That's a bad look. Nobody's getting out of this looking good. So the spot I'm at with this is just kind of wait and see. I'm watching to see if shit burns down tonight. I hope it doesn't. But Tim Walz is not out there making things any better. Jacob Frey is not out there making things any better. And also, if I could put my conspiracy hat on for a moment, what's going to happen now that this is this is an awfully big distraction. This one is huge. This is a really big distraction. What are they pulling? I saw that Trump boarded, the United States Navy boarded a Russian oil tanker today in, I believe, the Arctic. Oh, fuck. That's not good. Are we going to pull bullshit with the Greenland thing? Although Greenland, I saw a very funny joke today. It said, Greenland is offering to be sold to the United States on the condition that Trump release all of the unredacted Epstein files. In other words, we're not getting Greenland. I'm worried about what the big thing we're going to do while we're all distracted by this shooting. I do believe that certain political interests are going to try to pay people, bust them up here, and cause trouble. And while that's happening, something's going to happen. Whether it's Cuba, Haiti, Venezuela, Ukraine, Gaza, Iran, something. I'm too old, and if I notice, I got to call it. Something's going to happen. This is a really really bad distraction. And I always say when something's going on over here, they're pulling some shit over here. I'm just wondering what this one is. Rusty, let's go into some of these Rumble rants. Guys, if you do think we're going to give you awesome coverage of this. It's our final evening show of the week. I obviously don't want to mention numbers on a night like tonight. I want to talk about this stuff and get your takes. So if you feel like we're doing a very good job, please feel free to throw in some memberships, some PayPals, Venmos, Rumble rants, Super Chats. I don't want to bring it up a lot tonight. I want to get into all our stuff. We're 55 memberships from 500. Rumble added this new thing called a tip jar. I don't know how it's any different than Rumble rants, but if you go to the bottom, or if you go to where this video is, like right below it, there's a thing that says tip. I have no idea what that is. They just sent me a link to set it up today. I have no clue what it does. So don't ask. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out together. All right, let's start with numero uno Josh Denny fan. A lot of you are going to have takes on this. I'll try to get to as many as I can. Numero uno says, any coincidence Chrissy Mayer was on Tim Pool today? Could Frank have orchestrated this to elevate her appearance? God, she would have such a basic, shitty, righty take. She'd have such a neocon fucking conservative take. It would be so boring. Chrissy's opinions sound like she got them from 7 different Fox News hosts before she made them her own. Redbird with $1 says, this is unfortunately the result of 10 years of refusing to listen to people's concerns until people said, fuck it, put goon squads on the streets. Well, this is also what happens when there's no cooperation. Sanctuary cities, the city of Minneapolis, before ICE even got here, the city of Minneapolis was antagonizing them. We're not going to help you. You don't belong here, blah, blah, blah. And of course, ICE is like, oh, yeah, really? We're the federal government and we're enforcing federal immigration law. We can go wherever we want. And then Walz and Frey. I mean, there was no, everybody, when bad shit happens with the cops, the first thing everyone starts talking about is de-escalation. Nobody ever de-escalates. It's always, you know what we should do? We should de-escalate. And by that, I mean you first. So this is also the result of local, state, and federal government all trying to do their own thing in the same area at the same time. Fuck you, dude, with $2 says, Floyd riots too, Somali boogaloo. I think the Somalis are going to lie low on this one. I don't think the Somalis want to push their luck on this deal. They're just going to be happy that everyone's eyes are off the fraud for a little bit. Coltrane with $1 says, Walz went on about this. This is what happens when federal law enforcement doesn't coordinate with local law enforcement. No shit, you actively refuse to do so. I bet she regrets flooring the gas. Yeah, I think this woman was in a place she should have never been. She didn't belong there. She wasn't fit to be there. And boy, did she make a terrible fucking decision. Redbird with $1 says law enforcement has considered vehicles a deadly weapon for decades. The second you bring one into the equation, you are unfortunately taking your life into your own hands, especially against armed federal agents. My dad ran over somebody's foot, a crossing guard's foot, at a Timberwolves game once. He was trying to get into a ramp, and the fucking retard put his foot in front of my dad's car thinking that would stop him. And my dad ran over the guy's foot, and I'll never forget the way he said it. The guy got his foot ran over, goes, "Oh, fuck." It was like that was, "Oh, fuck." And he went down. And I think my buddy, my cousin, and I were in the back seat. I was probably 10 or 11 years old. My dad hands my cousin, who was like 17 at the time, hands him the tickets, and he goes, "Why don't you take them in? I think I'm going to be a little late." And he did. And he got cited for careless driving. And he paid a fine. That was it. So getting your foot run over is no picnic. And a vehicle is a very heavy thing. So even a bump from a moving vehicle, it's going to be startling. It's going to hurt you. And one thing we know about these cops are not good at handling high-pressure situations. They're just not. I mean, I know nobody wants to blame the cops when a lib gets shot, but I'm going to call it down the middle. I'm going to call it like it is. These cops are fucking too quick to jump to the gun. None of these cops would have been injured. None of these cops would have been hurt if they had decided not to shoot her. But here we are. Now, that's different than saying this woman didn't do anything to deserve getting shot. She put these officers who were already in a high state of alert, she put them to a decision. And I'm sorry, we're not going to be a sucking cops' dicks show on this program. When cops are put to a decision, they usually go for that gun quicker than they should a lot of times. Redbird with $1 says law enforcement. Oh, we just did that one. All right, what's our next one? We've got... There we go. Redbird with $1 says ICE has been boxed in by vehicles and shot at in Chicago several times. They are strung tighter than piano wire. I agree with that. Rob with $5 says, all jokes aside, terrible. I will not be going to X or TikTok and proclaiming joy like any crazy fucks do. Any side. SP was telling me that. She was like, TikTok is fucking wild tonight. It's really crazy. TDR Shit Show with $2 says the state hasn't looked good since Walz took office. I mean, at least not since COVID. I was asking my dad the other day, I'm like, never thought you'd miss Mark Dayton, did you? Minnesota has turned into a cesspool of liquid shit. She is now a learning block for others. Don't get in the way of ICE or pay the price. E. Betancourt with $1.99 says, did you meet Fleece Johnson in jail? Is that the booty warrior? I know that name. Rabbi Smoothie with $2 says, we need service in order to tip. Well, here you go, mademoiselle. That's supposed to be the guy from Beauty and the Beast. Which one am I? Hit the like button. Numero uno with $1 says, do you think if Chad's brother had been armed, he'd still be... Oh, boy. Hey, Numero, did you see that Louis J. Gomez was receptive to my offer to box at Skankfest or any one of their events? Me and Harrington in the ring? I think that would be great. I'd be so excited. I got to get a fight, man. Ready to strap like Mike Tyson with his license back. 9 to 5 minimum wage. What type of life is that for me? It's blasphemy. You're fucking around with the Sundance Kid and Butch Cassidy. I hope it happens. Joey Caravello at $2 says Ice 1, Kami Dykes 0. It's a little brutal. Little brutal. Toad Climbs Mountain says, I don't see a tip jar. Oh, you guys don't see this thing? I don't know what the fuck that is. It says, it's at the bottom of the video here. It says tip. I have no idea what it does. I'll click it. Scan to tip with Rumble Wallet. And it's a QR code. I don't. I prefer, you know what, guys? The old-fashioned way works just fine. Rabbi Smoothie says, whose rap was that? That was Exhibit. Bitch Please 2, I want to say. I think it's Bitch Please 2. $1 from Numero Uno says, I'm not taking any responsibility for you getting beat up. no matter how many people will undoubtedly enjoy it. I would win. I would win. I can handle myself in there. I took a guy 6'7", and I dropped his ass in 3 rounds. I'll be fine. The first fight, jitters, I froze up. It happens to the best of us. Second fight, walked the guy down for 3 rounds, knocked him on his ass in the third. I'll be fine. And that's an actual fighter. Joey Caravello says, Aaron's doing what I do on my lives. Pretend I'm middle of the road and balanced. No, oh, sorry. You know what, you guys? I fucked it up. I'm looking at the chat. Yes, he was 6'7". I'm not going to say he was a college swimmer either. That makes it look less cool that he was a college swimmer. Although when I hit him with a few right hands, he went like this and turned his back. He turned his back 4 times during the fight. I staggered him 4 times during the fight. Each time he turned his back and leaned on the ropes, which is fucking illegal. They never took a point away from the guy. He should have been disqualified. On the 4th one, I tried to step around and punch him in the face. And the ref's like, oh, no, that's a warning. I'm like, warn me? Fucking hell. Anyway, we're not here to dig up the past. $1 from Pump. Hey, I'm over it. Obviously, I've moved on. Pumpkin Popsums with $1 says, this better not mess up the Sabaton show at the Armory in March. No, it'll make it so much more cool. It'll be a super fucking based show. For sure. All right, guys, we got to start looking into some of the stuff surrounding this shooting. We got some footage for you. We've got some live streams. As usual, if you feel like supporting what we do, Streamlabs, PayPal. Now, this person says, I heard, SP just texted me and said, I heard she had a husband. I read lesbian. Woman who was killed by ICE. ICE baby. Gnome says, agent justified. Well, of course. Woman fatally shot by officer. I read that someone said she was a 37-year-old lesbian. Not that I guess it matters. 37-year-old Renee Good. Doesn't say anything about her sexuality. I'm guessing maybe some people just said that because it like fits the liberal narrative. Oh, she's a lesbian. Not that it would matter. Redbird with $1 says, I work around heavy equipment and vehicles and have had some close calls. I'm not taking the agent's side, but anyone saying that agent had the time to decide he wasn't in danger is clueless. This is what I'll say about that part of it. Don't fuck with federal agents. I mean, fucking with local police is not a good idea. But federal agents are borderline paramilitary. I mean, definitely, these guys are not they're not protect and serve. And that's the mistake a lot of people in Minnesota are making right now, going to these dumb fuck protests. ICE is not there to protect and serve the public. ICE is there to round people the fuck up. They're the brown shirts. These aren't the diplomatic police officers. Oh, sure, you betcha. These people don't live here. They're not invested in this community. They don't give a fuck. They got 2 jobs. Round up illegals and get home safe. Don't fuck with these people. They don't give a shit about you. They don't give a shit about your community. They don't care if Minnesota burns to the fucking ground. They're going to do their job. You thought if you're someone who thinks cops are bad, don't fuck with ICE. $1 from Numero Uno says, let's get to the real story of the day. Was that your real account that commented in Karmic's chat? That was top tier. Was that top tier entertainment or what? Podcast of the year 2026 contender to beat. It was so sad. I was down. My mouth was on fire. I was icing it. I came down here to prep and I saw Karmic was live. And I'm like, I'm going to give this a shot. I've only watched this guy in clips. I'm going to give it a shot. And literally, when I turn on Karmic's show, he's sitting there with a cigarette like this. Here's the microphone, and he's going, here, no. I need a prop. I'm a prop comic. I turn on the stream, and Karmic's going, and I'm like, the fucking show's going to start any second. And he's just sitting there shaking and sucking on a cigarette. And then all of a sudden he gets back to the mic and he's crying. He's crying because everyone I want to love and people won't let me have love. And I just want love. And I'm like, you narcissistic cunt. A lady just got her fucking head blown off 100 miles from where you're sitting. And you're sitting there going, why do you people do this to me? You're on a fucking stream, dickhead. Nobody's doing this to you. That's like me crying myself to sleep going, they're making fun of my chin and calling me fat. I hit go live. I asked them to be here. I heard a 40-some-year-old man on a stream today, and this is where I tapped out and fucking left. I can't watch these fucking people. They're tragic and embarrassing. And apparently that whole world's falling apart. Like, even the puppets having meltdowns now. They're all turning into karmic. And the last thing he said was he was crying. And he goes, okay, I'm going to paraphrase because it's either I just want to be loved, or he said, I just want to have some love in my life. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to get the fuck out of here. He thinks people want him to do well. Kevin Soundboard says, perfect take. Oh, I'm so glad. So glad. Red Fox Mad with $4.99 says the Freemasons took her out. Most cops are Freemasons. Aaron, are you a Freemason? If I am a Freemason, I have no idea that I am one. I don't think I am one. I would know if I was a Freemason, right? You can't be a Freemason if you just lay brick and shit, can you? Like, that's just being a masonry worker. My Lost Interest says embarrassing equals interesting. This is the mistake. This is why that whole universe is falling apart. And this is why they should have listened to me. The puppet guy, too. Didn't I tell the puppet guy months ago? I'm like, you're going to have a breakdown. You're getting too into this shit. You got to tap out. You got to pivot and do something else. And now he's like, that's so stupid. I hate doing this. Could have listened to me. I'm never wrong about this shit. It's almost like I've been here before. But I'll say this, My Lost Interest. The embarrassment is interesting for roughly 2 to 3 minutes. After that, you start to really hate yourself for even watching it because you're like, this is awful. This is bad. Kevin Soundboard says you were too retarded for them to teach you. Yeah, I'm glad. If that's retardation, thank God I'm retarded. Rabbi Smoothie with $2 says, ironically, it costs money to be a Freemason. Fucking false advertising then, as far as I'm concerned. Freemason, my aching ass. All right, thank you guys. Let's get into some of these. Hold on. Archmagus Tim with $5 says, I see Toe is wearing his gay 80s Vice City shirt. I'm vibing. All right, let's go into some of these clips. By the way, hit like, oh wow, 425 checking out the Toe. They want to hear our Minnesota bullshit tonight. Hit like, hit subscribe, and hit follow. I appreciate you being here. Let's go on a little ride together then tonight, shall we? Let's start getting through these. This was called the most comprehensive video of the situation. Now, just to analyze this off the jump, is that the vehicle? I thought the vehicle in question was more maroon. Okay, so that is the vehicle. So now I see it's a little different shade now. This vehicle is clearly in the way of ICE agents trying to perform their duty. Shut up. I said duty. Grow up. She's clearly trying to get into the way. She's part of the protest. There's a protest behind them. They're lining the streets. She very clearly is. I mean, this woman is already in over your head. My God, a 37-year-old woman does not belong here. I mean, this is something stupid a 19-year-old blue-haired college protester who just discovered Marxism might do. And that's really stupid even for them. But a 37-year-old woman getting in the way of ICE vehicles. And again, this is that watching too much cable news, watching too many podcasts, watching all these asshole lefties and righties LARP and go, we need to be the resistance. We need to be the people who stand up to tyranny. Motherfucker, you guys are not Hogan's heroes. All right? You guys aren't Hogan. You're not Richard Dawson. You're not the Inglorious Bastards, okay? You're all relatively doughy. unremarkable Americans who, look, send a tweet, make a TikTok, show up and hold a glittery sign like, get your ICEs out of here, whatever the fuck you say. Don't sit there and try to get in the game. This is not a game you can win. Do not go in there thinking, I can go toe-to-toe with ICE. We said this before this happened. They will just fucking kill you. And they lived up to that. So again, while I don't like that this woman's dead, I don't like that ICE did this, I don't like that federal agents are in my state capping people, this woman did everything in her power to make this happen. Get the fuck out of the way. Again, you want to hold signs? Hold signs. You want to obstruct? That ain't in the First Amendment, Jack. And again, these aren't your friendly neighborhood Derek Chauvins. These are big, bad motherfuckers, and they are here to roust illegals. They ain't here to serve you. They ain't here to serve and protect you. They are there to get other bad eggs and get them the fuck out of Dodge. So this bullshit, she was already in trouble. But now at this point, take your pinch, get arrested, call a relative, have them bail you out, get a lawyer, fight the charges. To take off as soon as that ICE agent gets out, you're done. Put it in park, shut the car off. We're in the end game now. You're like, oh, see, this was fucking stupid.
Shame! Shame! Oh my fucking God! What the fuck? What the fuck? You just fucking, what the fuck did you do?
Well, I mean, he didn't light firecrackers off under her car. It's like a movie, man, where they shoot somebody and they go crashing into something. So this is the creepiest part to me. So they shot her. She goes into that car and into that street pole. They have to go into the car. She's shot twice in the head, so there's got to be blood everywhere. They have to go and get her foot off of the gas because that vehicle is still revved up as it hits that pole.
You are fucking criminals! You're fucking criminals! What the fuck?
Hey, lady, get back on the fucking sidewalk. I don't think they're fucking around.
What the fuck? What the actual fuck? You are fucking insane! What did you do?
So then the allegation was that some doctor ran over and was telling the ICE people, you have to stop the bleeding from her head. You have to stop the bleeding. And they got her the fuck out of there. Or the doctor. They separated him from the situation. And people are like, how dare they do that to a doctor? They don't know if he's a real fucking doctor. Like, what are they supposed to do? Like, a stranger's supposed to come in there? Oh, yeah, come all over our shooting scene and take a look. See what you think. You say you're a doctor, right? He's probably a dentist.
You! Shame! 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 Shame!
I don't think that's going to work. What the fuck is that thing? What the fuck is it?
Shame!
What? Time out.
Shame! Shame!
Is that real? Somebody added that. That's like somebody AI added a fucking dinosaur onto this video. It looks like really low quality, so like how would they be able to do that? That can't be like a lawn ornament. That can't be like a thing they have decorating there. And I know I'm a retarded asshole for even asking, but that's what makes this show fun. That's fake, right? There's no way that guy has a dinosaur thing in his yard.
Shame! Shame!
Everyone should have stopped right there. I know a woman was just shot in the head, and that's very tragic, and it's terrible. But everyone should have went, whoa, 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 whoa. Wait a minute. That a real fucking dinosaur statue? I mean, we kind of know what happened to her. She's a goner, but what the fuck? Shuli Madoff with $5 on YouTube. Thank you. He says, when do we start calling Minnesota the new armpit of America? Florida, step aside. I mean, look, I'm here. I'm in Minnesota. I'm not going to fight it. If you want to, I mean, we've earned it. I don't want us to be the armpit of America, but we're definitely outpacing Florida. Florida just has like iguanas freeze overnight and fall out of trees and a guy eats them. You know, it relatively harmless shit. Like granny shits in a bucket and throws it on the highway. You know, that's a Florida thing. We have like refugees from a third world shithole steal billions of dollars and give it to Al-Shabaab. I mean, that's fucking tragic. And ICE agents cap a lady right in the head in the middle of the street in broad daylight. Samuel Warner with $10 on YouTube. Thank you, pal. He says, firstly, this is Minnesota. Everyone should know to be careful around ICE as it can drastically increase dropping distance, potentially killing people, including yourself. ICE is dangerous.
Shame!
Okay, the dinosaur again. We're going to see the dinosaur.
What happened?
Wait, no, the dinosaur. Ma'am, you're wrecking the dinosaur show. What the fuck? What is that? That's not AI. Somebody didn't just drop that in there. Nobody's sense of humor is that weird to go, you know what this really terrible video of a tragedy needs? A dinosaur. Oh, boy. Is this where we might have to cut this off of YouTube? Guys, just give me a second with this. I'll bring it back up. Yeah, let's put these two up since they were so generous.
Dude, you shot her! I'm trying to help! No! You fucking
All right, we'll put this back up on the screen then. Thank you guys for your contributions.
shot someone in the fucking face!
Fucking dinosaur guys!
Shot someone in the fucking face!
They're aware.
Do you have a conscience?
They're federal agents. Stop. These are not the nice, cuddly neighbors who go, these are the same liberals who will go, all these local cops want to do is parade around the street with a badge and a gun. They don't have any souls. Okay, that's not true about local police. Well, some of them it is. But okay, now take that and you're going past the state level. You're going kind of past the federal level and you're going with a very special unit. Immigration forces. These are people who arrest and detain cartel members. All right? These are the ones you try to make Derek Chauvin and local cops out to be. That's who these motherfuckers are. They don't have a soul. They don't have a conscience. They are there to show up, kick down doors, and fuck people's day up. They don't have time for someone all fancy-pantsy. I'm parked in the middle of the street sideways. I bet you ICE won't get around me. I don't think anybody's going to make that bet again.
Do you have a conscience?
No. This is Tropes America. Hey, whoa. Excuse me, sir. Terrible way to park. This poor guy's probably just like coming home from work. He has no idea what just happened. Somebody runs up to his car. Hey, bro, dude. This is quite possibly the worst position you could be in right now. Just go. Why? Why can't I park right here? There's nowhere for me to go. Just trust me. Go.
Murderer, leave! Don't let the murderer leave!
The dinosaur. It's a fucking dinosaur. I'm never going to get over it.
You guys are the fucking criminals. You don't get to tell us what to do. Fucking criminals. Don't let him leave!
Is that the guy?
Don't let him leave!
I drive a Tahoe. Yeah, see, that's the thing. People are like, oh, is this cop going to face charges? No, the way it works is only the Trump administration, only the federal government can press charges, and they never do against their own. He's going to be fine. I mean, you got to remember, federal agents went into a little boy's house in Florida back in like 99, 2000, Ilian Gonzalez. They put him and his relative in a closet and stuck a fucking rifle in their face. These people, they don't fuck around.
No! Get the fuck out of our neighborhood!
Would it be really bad timing for someone to go up and ask for a job application? Yo, I'm like 27 years old. I used to play free safety in college. The pros didn't work out. I got a bad knee. You mind? I still want to tackle shit. Is that the dinosaur guy? Is that the guy who owns the dinosaur house? I've got a lot of questions. That's some hoe-ass shit, he said. Really? I think capping somebody's pretty gangster.
Yeah, it's a fucking crime. We fucking know it. We're here.
I'm glad I live here and not down there where they... Whoa. Bro, like absolute worst time to have a Muslim call to prayer and someone say Allahu Akbar. I dare you.
Yeah, like what the absolute fuck, man? What the absolute fuck?
He rolls down his window and goes, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, some woman just like tried to speed off in her car and we shot her to death. Yeah, I know. Oh, sorry. I thought you meant what in the actual fuck. Like, I was just trying to help.
Do you have a conscience? Do you have a conscience? Do you have a conscience? This is the time, man. This is the time to have a conscience.
A fucking wooden puppet boy gets out and he's like, oh, make fucking jokes, bitch. Thanks a lot. A cricket just breathed me into life in a workshop from some crazy old pedophile inventor.
This is not okay. This is not okay.
I'm sorry for calling Geppetto a pedophile. That wasn't nice.
Get a fucking conscience.
It's too late, ma'am. They work for the federal government.
In the head. In the head.
All the ICE agents are like, boy, I think that whole thing they told us about the people here being Minnesota nice is a bunch of bullshit. These people are downright rude. I don't feel welcome. The fucking nerve of one of these guys to be like, I don't feel safe here as an ICE agent. I'm going to be honest with you. This is like total gallows humor on my part, by the way. This is horrible. This is really bad. And plus, I'm keeping an eye on the live streams that are up right now and seeing if any crazy shit's going down yet. I've been looking. My live stream that I've been following just went dark, so they're done. They're not staying on. I just really hope like bad shit doesn't pop off. That's where I'm at right now. Let me see where we left off here on Rumble. Here we go. Rusty Grammar with $1 says, where in the world is Karmic San Diego? Numero uno with $1 says, you haven't done a good breakdown in a long time. Consider this me poking you with a stick and saying, do a breakdown for us. What do you think I'm in the middle of doing? We're going to spend a lot of time on this tonight. Thank you. Wow. Thank you, Wally World, for 5 gifted memberships on Rumble. That's very kind of you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Wally World. Speaking of which, give that man a karmic.
Wanna fuck? Let's fuck!
Appreciate that. Rabbi Smoothie with $2 says, don't blame the whole agency for the actions of one. Well, they're kind of yelling at everybody. If you got a membership from Wally World, feel free to pass that one on. We appreciate it. What did I promise this morning? If we got within 15 memberships of 500, I'd do the rest. Sounds fair. $1 from putting up a poll says they aren't there to ask you to turn the music down. Exactly. These are not the local police. These are, as John Goodman said in Red State, these are big bad eggs. TDR Shit Show with $2 says, this annoying bitch needs the 10 cents to the face. Holy fuck, shut up. You can't do anything about it. She's dead. If she's not, she's going to wake up just to go, fucking shut up. My head is killing me. $2 from Joey Caravello. He says, Aaron, would you go and throw poop at these people for me, please? No, I'm not going down there. I'm going to text my parents tonight if shit gets weird. I'm going to ask them if they're okay. Outside of that, I'm staying out of it. Staying out of it. Dan Vicious with $1 says that other house has a shark. What the fuck is going on with these houses in Minneapolis with sharks and toys and shit? $1 from Numero Uno says, can you go recreate the April Chrissy George Floyd selfie at the new shooting site when Chrissy is able to fly over there? I don't think Chrissy and I are on good terms. I don't like Chrissy Mayer. very much. I find Chrissy to be rather phony, if we're being honest. I see her as someone who will do anything for views and pretend to like anyone if she thinks she can get anything out of them. Parlock with $2 says she couldn't go toe-to-toe with ICE, if you will. Yeah, that's...
And there will be gorilla shit all over down there.
Well, you see, baby, when you step to ICE, things can get slippery, if you will. You go to the... If the ICE agent wants to go to the pay window, he's got to have him a body count. And I ain't talking about Andrew Tate, baby. Redbird with $1 says, this is why you don't spend decades smugly dismissing the concerns of half the country. People will get frustrated enough to vote in someone who's going to put masked goon squads on patrol. And that's what I'm struggling with. What I'm struggling with is I don't have a side on this one. I don't want to live in the country where armed federal agents just come into your state and shoot people. But I also want to enforce our immigration law, and that's what they do. I also don't want people coming in, blocking roads, acting like a dick, not thinking and coming in here causing trouble. But I also don't want people getting fucking capped on the streets by federal agents. There's no accountability there. So I don't like any of this. This is all like people who are trying to make this a political thing. This is all bad. This is all dog shit. Thank you very much to OG Anonymous Fake Dono with $5 on Venmo. Says these ICE agents are retarded, thug, cop, wannabe, testosterone-filled losers. This was bound to happen sooner or later. I mean, I hate to say this because I don't like him. Tim Walz did kind of warn us about this. In his press conference yesterday, Tim, what did he know? $5 from, oh God, which one is this? Chevy fan or Chevmatic? I can't remember. $5 says T-Rex reaction needs to be a clip up tonight. Well, thank you. I'm glad you're still finding humor in our coverage of this. I'm glad you're still finding humor. This person says, what state was her license plate from? Do you know? Do you think she was a paid protester after the 2,000 agents were announced yesterday or last week? I'm sorry. I heard she was from Colorado. That's the other thing. Stay the fuck out of our state, please. We get it. You hate ICE. You don't like it. You don't like their immigration policy. You're not going to do anything about it for the next 4 years. Try again next time. Dan Vicious with $1 says, I actually found you through Chrissy. Well, you're welcome for you finding a better show. Numero Uno with $1 says, can you do us all a favor and convince Frank to swing with you and inevitably ruin Chrissy's life? Start using your powers for good. I don't want to flex that muscle anymore. No, thank you. I'm retired. It was a shameful time. Hulkamash with $1 says, honestly, this thing is going to need to come to a boil. Shit's going to need to go down. And only after shit's gotten bad will people start to compromise. Well, I'll tell you this. Our governor doesn't seem in a compromising mood today. We're going to play that in just a little bit. People are telling me, they're saying, Aaron, there's a shark in the yard next to the dinosaur. Get the fuck out of here. Really? Where's the dinosaur? Let me go back. Oh, wait, this is... Oh, she hasn't...
What the fuck did you... You are a fucking criminal!
We got that.
Fuck.
Okay, wait a minute. Here we go. We're close to the shark house.
Shame! Shame!
Okay, where's the shark?
Shame! Shame!
Okay, that ain't the shark house.
Shame!
There's the dinosaur.
Shame!
Oh my fucking God, there's a shark over there. What the hell is going on in this neighborhood? This is a meth neighborhood, isn't it? But like meth dealers, like only ghetto rich meth dealers would be like, I need a dinosaur and a fucking shark in my yard, dog. They really do have a shark and a dinosaur. I hope they have cool names. Shut up, lady. I'm trying to enjoy the lawn ornaments.
What's happening to her? What happened?
Shut up, lady. You're late to the party. Read about it on the news. Yeah, there's our dinosaur. And yeah, there was that a shark, or that looked like it could be like a spinosaur? Looked like it could have been a different kind of dinosaur. But look, we're not going to nitpick. the lawn ornaments. It's just, they got their own kind of style in that neighborhood. They got their own kind of style. Kevin Soundboard says, I can see why ICE was there. I mean, it is a very cholo-looking neighborhood. It's not, I mean, do you just... You might as well be hanging signs on your door that says, stay out, gringo. They're that much of a dead giveaway. Salamancas live here. Numero uno with $1 says, will Chad be live streaming from this ICE agent's house, yelling at him to come outside with his gun before the end of the year? Place your bets. Oh, my lost interest says, I don't want to flex that muscle anymore. Ew. Oh, I didn't mean like a dick thing. Oh, stop it, you. Helgi says the ghost of Derek Chauvin's knee is itching. He's not dead. Mikey Two Milk says 10,000 plus rounds, soft armor, enough MREs to last 4 of us 35 days, 500 gallons of potable water, and a silo full of tortillas in the Baja. I'm all set. I don't need to worry about ice. When ice gets a little crazy in my state, I just head down to the Baja and go surfing with Laird Hamilton. That's what I do. I hear that ICE got somebody in Minnesota I think you ought to consider suing. That sounds like a personal injury kind of a thing. You ought to call Nicolay Law. Fucking Nicolay Law. I can't handle Nicolay Law. One more goddamn commercial. Numero uno says, if Aaron flexes that muscle, it will be the first muscle flexed on his body in months. Eat my ass. Rusty Grammar, and thank you guys for the funny Rumble rants and super chats. This is going to be kind of a heavy downer of a show tonight. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow. $1 from Rusty Grammar says, I have seen a few helicopters deploy from Fort Ripley towards the cities. Not sure if it's anything, but I'm a helicopter guy, so just thought I'd mention it. What a weird thing to say. I'm a helicopter guy. I'm a quesadilla guy. What's up? Usually they say like the pizza shops. If the pizza places are really busy, that means some shit's going down. But the National Guard, we'll get to the Tim Walz part of this. Tim Walz does not believe in de-escalating this whole thing. Fuck you, dude, with $2 says, so is Trump going to reinstate Glass-Steagall? Donald Trump is going to do something that's really fucking awesome and super based that we're all really going to like. He's going to ban the multinational corporations and hedge funds from buying residential homes, but I have a feeling that that one's going to get lost in the shuffle. I was really excited about it, too. I retweeted it, so I remembered to copy and paste it into the prep sheets. I was like, yeah, fucking awesome. We're finally doing something that I voted for, that I wanted him to do. And then a lady was shot protesting the ICE agents right in the fucking head on the streets of Minneapolis. I'm like, I don't think we're going to be talking about the housing market thing. Oops. My lost interest says Jesse Ventura impression, totally on point. I dust that off every once in a while. That's been a steel toe staple from the first days. I mean, I started doing a Jesse Ventura impression when I was like in 8th grade, you know, to get laid. No Pen 15 Fathead with $2 says, fear the beard. Talking about Tim Walz's wife. We got Mayor Frey next year. We've got his comments on the whole thing. Thank you guys very much for your generosity. Again, if you're enjoying our coverage, thank you for those memberships. Thank you for those super chats, the Rumble rants, the Venmos, the PayPals. All the links are at the top of the page. Thanks for supporting our program. There is nothing worse than a closeted homosexual feminine guy trying to sound tough. And again, this is a bad news situation. It's only been 5.5 years since the last time some really bad shit went down in Minnesota. So you would think the mayor, who was there last time, the governor, who was there last time, and the president, who was there last time this happened, you would think that they would all start toning it down and go, hey, guys, we don't like that ICE is here either. We're not working with them. We're not cooperating with them, but this is not a job for civilians to go in and confront these ICE agents. These ICE agents are here. We don't like it. They have a job to do. Please respect them. Do not get in their way because it could be dangerous for you. But instead, Mayor Frey gives us this shit, which is going to stir more people up. I mean, these guys want George Floyd 2.0.
Better, but I do have a message for our community, for our city, and I have a message for ICE.
Yeah?
To ICE, get the fuck out of Minneapolis. We do not want you here. Your stated reason for being in this city is to create some kind of safety, and you are doing exactly the opposite.
Now, look, I'm an emotional guy. I'll say I got a potty mouth. I'll say fuck a lot, probably too much. It makes you sound less intelligent. And I know sometimes people are like, yeah, I wish I saw more passion out of my leaders. But I don't know, like when I see like Trump go, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Or Frey going, get the fuck out of Minneapolis. To me as a leader, it shows me you've lost that even keel, which is very essential in leading, especially in really traumatic, difficult times. So when I see him go, get the fuck out of Minneapolis, the people of Minneapolis see that, and that's their pass to get crazy. Like, hey, the mayor's saying it. We're going to go out there and act on it. Like, this is the, we always talk about de-escalation. This is the exact opposite of de-escalation. None of this is de-escalating anything. If anything, it's firing these guys up. And from what I've heard, and send me links to any live streams you have of protests, because I've got a couple we're going to check out tonight. From what I've heard, people are already at vigils saying we're going to kill ICE, we're going to get ICE, and it's like, you know, we need a real leader at this point to step up. Like, this is where Trump can actually win a lot of support or sympathy, believe it or not. He can go on TV tonight, and while Frey is going, hey, get the fuck out of here, and Walz is like, I told you this would happen, and these pieces of shit, blah, blah, blah. Trump can be like, this is a travesty. This is terrible that this happened. Children lost a mother. This should never happen on the streets of our country. But our ICE agents have a job to do, and you have to let them do that job. They are here. Make the mission very clear. They are not here to arrest innocent people. Innocent people who are here legally will be left alone. We're not even nabbing random illegal immigrants. They're even safe because they are. That's not a lie. We are here to capture criminals who are here illegally, people wanted for crimes or who have committed crimes while here illegally, people who make our streets less safe. Please let our ICE agents do their job and they will be gone. We do not want any more bloodshed in the streets. The first leader to make that speech wins, because you've got Spaz here just going, get the fuck out of here. It comes off as more catty and bitchy. I know he thinks he's a tough guy. Go eat a bowl of Somali goat meat, you fucking panderer.
People are being hurt. Families are being ripped apart. Long-term Minneapolis residents that have contributed so greatly to our city, to our culture, to our economy are being terrorized, and now somebody is dead. That's on you. And it's also on you to leave.
Yeah, they're not going to, and you can't make them. And here's the mistake that the state of Minnesota and the city of Minneapolis made. They said from day one they weren't going to cooperate with any of these guys. They weren't going to cooperate with ICE. They weren't even going to sit down and talk to them. They weren't going to figure out if they had some common ground. Nothing. We're against it. Nothing good is going to come of that. Nothing good. So this guy isn't practicing de-escalation. Walz isn't practicing de-escalation. And I'm pretty sure Donald Trump hasn't really made any like heavy statements about this quite yet. Let me just go through some of these and then we'll get to our next clip. $1 from Numero Uno. He says, time to get further off grid to avoid growing hostilities. Take Gordy and drive up to Carmix to co-host his show tonight. It will be a win-win. You'll both hit the goal. I can't say goal. God damn it. I'm not allowed to say goal. You know what? I did find something out. I found out that Carmick is mad at me for absolutely no reason. He got put on by Cockdiff. So Cockdiff has been coming into my chat and going, Carmick's stream sniping you right now. And he's not. I know Carmick isn't stream sniping me. I know he doesn't do that. But Cockdiff tries to get me to play into it, and I think it's funny. He goes into Carmick's chat and he goes, Steel Toe is sniping you right now. And we're not sniping Carmick. And it sets Carmick off. Cockdiff goes, and I'm sure Cockdiff just thinks it's fucking hilarious every time. But I saw a clip recently and I didn't know this was happening. I thought Cockdiff was just doing this to me. But Cockdiff goes into Carmick's chat and he's like, Steel Toe is sniping you right now. And without checking to see if this is true or real or whatever, Carmick goes, oh yeah, well, fuck you. I'm not going to eat your cum, you fucking piece of shit. You. He hates Nick and I a lot. I get it. I understand it. But, like, and I guess it wouldn't help him if I said, hey, you know Nick's a delusional liar. I never ate anyone's cum. It doesn't matter at this point. It's just, it's got a mind of its own at this point. It's just, it's taken off. And he's like, I'm not going to eat your cum. And I'm like, I ain't asking, brother. But Cocktiff goes in there, and Karmic is so easy to manipulate and get going that he just goes in there and goes, Steel Toe is sniping you. And then he yells at Steel Toe. And then people come into my chat and go, dude, Karmic's fucking pissed at you. He hates you. I'm like, I've only had really nice things to say to the guy. It's just like, oh, Cocktiff again. Thank you very much to Redbird with $1. Says bets on the odds that women and all the other protesters are from 90% white upper class neighborhoods and probably never have to interact day to day with the illegals they are defending. Well, I think that's a given. $2 from Joey Caravello says this can all be traced back to Aaron attacking Mark Levin's stepson.
You little bastard, you attacked my stepson?
I hope not. Numero Uno with $1 says Karmic mad at someone for no reason couldn't possibly be true. Go give the kid some advice and talk him through this ordeal so we don't have to deal with stealth chaos or worse. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with stealth chaos. You'll have to... No, I know, but God damn it, I was about to say you're going to have to fill me in. Don't, numero uno. I don't need to know. By the way, Red Fox Mad is now at $69 for the week. Wally World is at an even hundo. He's even with Steven now. They're even Steven. Numero uno is now at 46. He says, by the way, Joe Rogan is sniping you right now, and I've never seen him so mad. Oh, that Joe Rogan, I'll make sure I get him. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow. 451 watching the evening show. Very sad that a woman had to lose their life for our evening show numbers to go up, but hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow. And if you like what we're doing, if you want to support the show, membership, super chats, Rumble rants, the Streamlabs, Venmo, and PayPal links are at the top of the Rumble chat. Okay, so now we've got a couple slowed down versions of the actual encounter. So you guys can kind of take a look and see what you think and whether or not this was a good shooting or not, or a justified shooting. We've got a slowed down and then a super slowed down. Now, I'm going to play this and not give my opinion, so I'll just say this beforehand. If a vehicle is in motion and it hits your body no matter what speed, it's heavy. That's a lot of weight. It's going to make your blood pressure go up. It's going to make you feel threatened. Let's play this. I still don't think this is the most cut and dry shooting there could possibly be. I also, I will reiterate my stance before I play it so I don't interrupt it to give my take. This woman should have never been parked this way in the first place. She was in way over her head. And when the cops got your hand on the door and says, get out, you take your pinch like a man, you take your charges, you fight it in court. You're not going to argue with you. White woman entitlement is a big problem in this particular scenario because she felt, oh, I'm not a big, scary, threatening. I mean, she's a white liberal. So she's like, I'm not a big, scary, threatening black guy. That only happens to them. You know, the delusions they tell themselves. I'm special. I'm white. I'm a female. They'll let me drive away. They won't. They'll shoot you too, bitch. So don't. When you're blocking traffic and then the cops come up to you and go, that's it. That's enough. You can't do the thing when you're a little kid and you back away and go, oh, no, I won't do it anymore. I'll leave. I'll go. No, you're fucked. You wanted to play the game. Now you got to deal with the consequences of it. And instead, she took off. And that... Look, she put herself out there for something like this to happen to her. That doesn't mean I totally agree with what ended up happening. Here we go. Sorry. That's a foghorn. So there's the guy. He's in front. There's the first shot. Through the windshield. And then the next two shots are through the side window. So we're going to slow it down more, and we're going to see, because I really don't think we can get an accurate depiction of what the threat is there. Good old JR with $1 says, not that they would, but can the FCC go after the news stations for airing him saying fuck? Just curious if someone not associated with the stations can get them in trouble. No, it's what's called fleeting expletive. The FCC allows for fleeting expletive. It doesn't hold the network accountable. Root says that's cut and fucking dry. Jesus Christ, a vehicle is a weapon. That woman was way out of her depth. Like criminally out of her depth. She shouldn't have been there. And then again, once you block, you impede law enforcement and they come to get you out of the car, I'm sorry, you're under arrest. You can't take off. And you certainly, I mean, if she would have taken off on foot like this and they would have shot her, that would have been super fucked up. But she was in a vehicle. A vehicle is considered a deadly weapon. She tore off in it and he shot before we could find out what would have happened to her. You can't decide that, oh no, I'm done being a troublemaker now. I was a big badass protester who was resisting fascism and getting on the field of play. But, oh no, now it's serious. I'm done. That's not how this works. Again, in over your head. I said at the beginning of tonight's show, there's a lot of fuck around and find out for a lot of people in this story. What we're doing now is we're having... we're going over her fuck around and find out part. Oh, God damn it. What a fucking terrible host. I got a message from Dan Nice Podcast Stupid, and I was reading it during this clip. So this is the super slowed down version. So there she goes. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but that first shot went right through the windshield. People say he shot her through the driver's side door. The first shot was through the bottom corner of the windshield here. So there he is. So that vehicle has it's made contact with him. She has hit him with the vehicle. This is where she put herself in a position that she can't play victim. There it is. And there was no, I believe she was pronounced dead at the scene. She took 2 shots to the head. Even Phineas Gage ain't walking away from that one. Roots Calhoun says this dude is shitting his pants thinking he's going to get chauvined. No, Roots, let me tell you why that's not happening to this guy. I was watching this on a news clip earlier. He's a federal agent. He's federally protected. The state of Minnesota cannot charge him with a crime. He is only held accountable by the federal government. Trump, ICE, and the Department of Homeland Security have to decide if he's going to get charged. In other words, he ain't getting charged. 191 Redbird with $2 says, these aren't cucked blue state law enforcement. Yeah. Well, that was the point I was making earlier. ICE is not there to protect and serve. They don't have we're your community on the side of their cars. They're in SUVs, blacked out, ready to fuck people up. That's what they do. They are not diplomats. Fauci's Pangolin says, she ain't Rasputin. No. Nobody is, quite frankly. Joey Caravello with $2 says, how could you shoot her? Easy. You just don't lead her as much. I don't get that one. Now we have, so then people started getting really bucky after all this went down. People really started getting angry at ICE. There were snowballs being thrown. There were bottles were being thrown. ICE was in there bear macing the shit out of people. You know they have mace shotguns now? Holy shit. There was one guy, he tried to grab the ICE guy's riot control weapon, and the ICE guy just puts this shotgun-looking thing right to his face, and boom, big orange pepper ball explodes in his face. It was cool. I want one. I really do. I see the militarization of our police, and I see fascist oppression, and I go, fascist oppression ain't so bad if I get some of the fascist weapons. This is Minneapolis. The police evacuated the area, and this is kind of more of this fuck ICE. Minnesota's not going to play ball. The state troopers aren't going to play ball. Hennepin County's not playing ball. Minneapolis isn't playing ball. The Minneapolis police, they say it's because they were under basically attack from the crowd who were armed with snowballs. That's all in fairness, that's all it took to start the Boston Massacre. But the Minneapolis police said, well, it wasn't safe, so we did a strategic retreat. We left. I think this was a clear message being sent to ICE. Fuck you guys, you're on your own. That's just my opinion.
And there'll be more videos. We're in a world with lots of videos, which is a good thing for getting to the truth.
Let's look at this live shot that we're seeing right now. We just saw some black vehicle vans moving their way through, and now you see snowballs flying in this group of individuals that are moving. You've got law enforcement in the front of this group that look like they're walking backwards, so they're being pushed, is the way it looks, backwards by protesters who are throwing snowballs at them right now. Let's bring in Victor Avila. Let's stay on this live shot as we bring in Victor, retired ICE special agent, now assistant director for the Office of National Drug Control Policy in the administration. Victor, thank you for being here. I don't know, can you see what we're seeing live on screen right now? Are you?
So that was the Minneapolis Police Department withdrawing from the area. They were done. They weren't going to stay there a minute longer than they needed to because, again, they never wanted ICE here in the first place. So they got the hell out of there. I don't know what's going to happen tonight. We do have a Tim Walz clip in just a little bit. I do want to find some Minneapolis live streams if I could. We do have a Fox 9 one. They got Cornhogger out there. We've got the Daily Guardian, Minneapolis shooting live. That ain't live. It's light out in that one. Live Minneapolis ICE protests. Yeah, let's do that one. Fox 4, Dallas, Fort Worth. Oh, did they shut? God damn, the minute we find a good one, they're gone. Well, shit. Fox 9 had Cornhogger out there. Let's get old Corn's perspective.
And someone yelled stop.
See, again, it's light out.
A statement from ICE said the shooting victim was one of several rioters who blocked officers. They said she tried to kill the officers by running them down, so an ICE agent opened fire in self-defense. But that's not what
She was driving away, but you can't do that. When that ICE agent put his hand on her car door, it was, hey, you're obstructing, get out of the vehicle, and they were going to detain her. They might not have even arrested her or charged her with anything. They might have just detained her so they could get the vehicle the fuck out of there. And she took off. She got herself shot.
Neighbors saw it all.
No, they weren't driving at a person with any intention of hitting them.
Lester Averman from the Mighty Ducks. Good to see him doing well.
She tried to leave and get out of their way, and then they shot her for it. There was no, he wasn't in danger of getting hit. His life wasn't threatened at all. He put himself in front of the vehicle.
They all saw the woman's SUV veer off the road and crash. A couple minutes later, a doctor tried to get through the police line to render aid.
A couple minutes later? Bro, she's toast. Sorry.
Made it very clear, I want to help. I'm just trying to check what's going on. And they were like, we don't care. Nope, back up.
Shut up, we don't care, back up.
They said it took at least 10 to 15 more minutes for an ambulance to arrive. And even then, the ambulance could not access the shooting victim because ICE vehicles were blocking the road. So eventually, they carried the woman's body out to the ambulance. And as we later learned, she passed away.
I mean, she was probably dead already, but... Yeah, I mean, it's a grim situation. I'm worried about what's going to happen tonight. You know, I mean, the sun's already down. The only thing that might work in peace, in the favor of peace, is that it's fucking cold out. It's Minnesota. It's wintertime. Remember, George Floyd happened Memorial Day weekend. So not only was it warm out here, somebody on the Fox 9 live stream, Taste Fairy Ialto, just wrote on the Fox 9 live stream, long live the toe. Thank you. He also wrote, female cop, gun drawn, doggo didn't die. Thank you very much. But yeah, it's cold out. It's in Minneapolis right now. I'm thinking it's probably about 30 degrees. Yeah, it's 31 in St. Cloud right now. So it's right around 30, 32. It's cold as fuck. Maybe that won't keep them out so late. But I'm not sure. My lost interest with $2 says snowballs make a great place to hide a rock. Yeah, when they start throwing shit, you have no guarantees of what's in there. Trucker 18 Wheeler with $1 says ICE is just a step lower than the military. Yeah. Comparable to the Guard, I would say, except maybe not in armaments, are they? Putting up a poll with $1 says, why did she ever window down in the first place? Well, to catch that cool Minnesota air. $2 from Joey Caravello. Oh, I got that one. $1 from Trucker 18 Wheeler says it's supposed to be high 30s tomorrow. Yeah, my phone says 42. That is good rioting weather here in Minnesota. Well, this is what our fucking genius governor had to say about the whole thing. Remember, when something like this happens, Frey, Trump, and Walz were all part of the last disaster that burned down Minneapolis. And you would think that one of them would learn de-escalation so this doesn't get really bad. Tim Walz is so obsessively jealous and angry and bitter that he lost that election that everything that happens that's bad, everything that he fucks up, it's somehow Trump's fault. I mean, he is the meme of the guy putting the stick in his own spokes, falling down and going, damn you, Trump. I mean, that's all Tim Walz has been doing during this Somali fraud thing. It's all he's been doing since he announced he wasn't going to be running for governor again. I mean, it's all Trump's fault. So now when he has actual federal agents shoot a Minnesotan, now he gets to really lean in.
Order to prepare the Minnesota National Guard. We have soldiers in training and prepared to be deployed if necessary. I remind you, a warning order is a heads up for folks. And these National Guard troops are our National Guard troops. They're teachers in your community. They're business owners. They're construction professionals. They are Minnesotans.
I got to open up the hardware store on Monday.
Minnesota will not allow our community to be used as a prop in a national political fight. We will not take the bait. We will continue to update you, Minnesota, as we get more information. Now I'd like to turn it over to Commissioner Porter.
This really pisses me off because he could have done this during the George Floyd shit. As soon as the George Floyd video went viral, it wasn't any secret that people were going to lose their shit. He could have mobilized the Guard then. Now he'll do it now. A, he'll look like a stronger leader than he did last time. And B, he's against Trump this time. So look. I hope it doesn't get ugly. It's just that history's not on our side with this kind of stuff. And she was from, have we confirmed that she's from Colorado? Because if that's true, that really annoys me too. Coming here from another state. Wait until they go to Denver and then go protest. Fuck shit up over there. Stay out of our state. $4.99 from Red Fox Mad says Chrissy Mayer is on Timcast. God, how does she do it? You understand if you put our stream numbers together from all the platforms we're on, we do more views than Chrissy Mayer. And she somehow finagles her way onto Timcast. You got to give her credit. I know a lot of people here hate Chrissy Mayer. She's a grifter. She's a liar. She's a click whore, whatever. Look, how she takes a show that's a nothing show like this one is and gets on Timcast. See, maybe I could learn how to play the game, but I don't like playing the game. I don't like talking nice about people that I think are disingenuous and shitty like Tim Pool and just dog shit at what they do. But she has no shame. She'll go and she'll be like, I love Tim Pool. He's so great. If they have a higher subscriber or viewership count than her, she will blah, blah, blah. She's all over it. She's all over it. Keanu is her kid's godmother. And when Melanie Mack, who has more followers than Keanu, said faggot, and Keanu's like, that fucking pisses me off. I got gay friends. I got gay, and she called out Melanie Mack for that. Chrissy said, Keanu, you're not allowed on Simpcast anymore. I can't piss off my more famous person, Melanie Mack. That's the Chrissy Mayer I know. That's Chrissy all over. And that's how she gets booked on Timcast. If you have something she wants, if you want clout she needs to chase, she will glaze the shit out of you. Rusty Grammar with $1 says Taste Fairy for the win. Very nice. Yeah, thanks for the plug on Fox 9, Taste Fairy. I appreciate that. Helgi with $5 says this is a psyop in order to get white women to side against ICE to combat the racial awareness and noticing in order to keep the diversity as our strength and white guilt grift alive. I don't think this specifically is something to distract from anything, I think this is, it's the opposite order. This is something that happened that will now be used to distract. Most Ration's going to do next. Redbird with $5 says, and you spent 6 months simping for her almost as hard as you did for April. Yeah, but as soon as I don't want to go too heavy into the Chrissy stuff, but she showed herself to be remarkably dishonest and disingenuous. And I opened up my home to her. I was there for her when her father died and everything. And then one jealous cunt bag goes, oh yeah, no, he's a terrible guy, Chrissy. And he abused April, which everybody knows is fucking bullshit. But Chrissy then goes, oh yeah, I believe you. Why? Not because it made any sense. I mean, she knew us. She saw us. She knew that was horseshit, just like Keanu does. But it's because he had way more followers and she could grift off of that. Now she's separated herself from the whole thing because the people who like her and that she grifts off of told her that he's a piece of shit too. So now she's like, well, I'm just neutral and I don't really have an opinion. Sit on that fence, bitch. Sit on that fence. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate that. Chevy fan says, we liked the idea that you abused April. I didn't, though. I cost myself a lot of followers by pointing out the truth of that situation. So yeah, Tim Walz, what do you expect him to say? I honestly, I think that Tim Walz, I was expecting way worse from him. Again, I don't think he's doing us any favor, but he could have been way worse, and I think in the coming days he might be way worse. Helgi says the midterms are right around the corner in 2026. Somebody just texted in and says, Aaron, Chrissy carries 225 better than you do. That's not nice. That's not nice. Guys, thank you very much for your generosity. If you like our coverage of this stuff tonight, hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow. And if you feel like throwing us a couple of bucks, you've been so generous thus far, go ahead and links to the Streamlabs, PayPal, and Venmo are in the chat. And gifted memberships are always welcome. We love those as well. 471 of you checking out the tote tonight. We appreciate that. Pushing 400 on Rumble and YouTube alone. Thank you, guys. So on the federal end of things, I haven't seen anything from Donald Trump, but Kristi Noem, the Department of Homeland Security Secretary, says calls the actions leading up to the ICE shooting an act of domestic terrorism. Now, I don't know who agrees with that. I think you got to simp for the administration pretty hard to call some 37-year-old lady parked sideways in the street an act of domestic terrorism. I think she was definitely a protester. I think she was an agitator. I think she was doing something really stupid. You know, a lot of times in these shootings, whether it's even citizen shootings like George Zimmerman or Kyle Rittenhouse, or it's police actions, usually what it takes is two people acting like idiots and one idiot getting killed. In this case, this woman acted really stupid and it cost her her life. In the case of Rittenhouse, he should have stayed the fuck home. And the skateboard guy should have put his fucking skateboard down. Most of the time it takes two retards to cause something like this to happen. And yes, people who work for ICE are the fucking super aggro, like, yeah, I want to beat shit up and shoot shit. Like they're they're that stereotype of the fucking ape retard cops. So you need them involved, and then you need some dipshit who's in over her head, and she fucks up too. Red Fox Mad says riots breaking out in other cities. Oh boy. Yeah, I mean, we all pretty much expected Kristi Noem to take ICE aside. I mean, those are her guys. Neighboring area. So it looks like we got protests in multiple cities here. This is Chicago. This is New Orleans, Sacramento, Minnesota.
For the community, immigrant community, that includes the Latinos, that includes the Polacks, that includes...
This stream sucks. Let's find another one. Minneapolis. Let's type that in there. And let's filter live. That's what we want to see. Yeah, I don't really see any live streams of just protests. I mean, that's got to be a good thing, right? That's got to mean that they're not setting shit. Because if they were setting shit on fire and they were really going to town, I have a feeling that we would see a lot of live streams covering that. Minneapolis protests. Live right now, Daily Guardian. Again, this is all daylight shit. Mint, Minneapolis shooting. People protest after fatal shooting sparks protests nationwide. Yeah, I mean, this doesn't really look too busy. Like I said, it's 30 degrees out right now in Minnesota. It's not, prime Molotov cocktail weather. You make a Molotov cocktail in Minneapolis tonight, you're holding it by your hands to keep warm. Oh, they're at a vigil. And there's a speaker up there. Okay. Couldn't get this live streamer more of a front row seat to the damn thing? Jesus. Yeah, I'd like to see more of these. You got Mint, Bloomberg News. They own the Timberwolves. Hit the like button. Then you got commercials. Yeah, you got the local news is doing live streams, but they're just, doing the local news. There's that asshole we were just watching. Where's all those on the... Boy, these guys really like... they really like going out there in the summertime. None of these guys want to come to Minnesota in the wintertime. Here's one.
Our neo-Nazis are Klansmen. Who do you think got hired in that hiring bin? All right? J6ers who had all their charges expunged. How many of them do you think are working for ICE right now?
Oh, so it's all... No. So this asshole thinks... God, they're going to embarrass themselves. This asshole thinks that like goat boy, what's his name? Q Shaman. They think Q Shaman is running around with his goat horns on running ICE. He's actually running for office in Arizona.
White people. And all of them led by Donald Trump and Christie, the she-wolf of Trump's SS.
Ooh, the she-wolf of the SS. That almost sounds... That's got a ring to it. That's a T-shirt.
Immigrants are under attack. What do we do? Immigrants are under attack. What do we do? When human rights are under attack, what do we do? When human rights are under attack, what do we do? When our Constitution is under attack, what do we do? When our Constitution is under attack, what do we do? And what do we do?
They're saying stand up, fight back. So he's saying, what do we do? Stand. Oh, this is a New York protest. Oh shit, we're in more than just Minneapolis. Live gathered in large number. Oh, we got helicopter shots. You guys want helicopter shots? Here you go. That is a fuck ton of people. Take a look at the lights. Uh-oh. Hey, guys, remember to keep it peaceful. Remember not to set shit on fire. Federal agents are probably on the way right now to start some false flag bullshit. Don't fall for it. You see a guy dressed in all black hammering at AutoZone windows, just hang back, stand by. Yeah, there are a shitload of people there. I just hope they keep it together, man. I just don't want to see more George Floyd shit. That's all. I guess I shouldn't be too hard on these live streamers either because they haven't really gotten time to get out to Minneapolis to start covering this. So there aren't that many live streams that are going right now. This is at the vigil for the woman who was shot. So far peaceful, so far cool. What time is it? 7:30 here in Minnesota. All right. There are a lot of lessons to learn from this. Unfortunately, we will all learn the wrong ones.
Of some sort. And it very much looks just
here's Chrissy on Tim Pool.
Yep. So,
Chrissy, got any hot take?
man.
Oh, look at Tim's new studio.
what I
Wait a
can
minute.
say is-
I thought he was done live streaming after December 19th.
Factions of the right, the retard right, and the regular right. I guess we can call it. That was you, right, Tate?
Yep.
Yeah. A lot
Let's
of
see
the
what
retard
their
right's taking the
poll
side
says.
of the woman. Like they're going full liberal.
They're just contrarians. They're just natural contrarians.
Yeah. There's a sect of people on the right that are just basically anti-Trump and are moving to never Trumper.
Mm-hmm.
And these are people who were.
Do you think Chrissy was ever going to have the balls to disagree with anything Tim says? Or oh, yeah, I just totally agree with that. I think so, too.
Well, they're
follow my channel. It's dying.
Actually acknowledge sort of the actual undercurrent of right-wing thought, sort of hierarchy, these sorts of things. These are people that, the right, I said it yesterday, the right-wing thought, for a while was kind of sexy and edgy. And
who are you?
Was, in some regards, low risk to believe in because you actually, for the longest time, we didn't expect us to be ruling again. Like during the Biden winter, it kind of felt like it was over in a lot of ways. And then now with the Trump administration has emerged, Trump 2, never surrender, these sorts of things, we're in power again. And these people go, oh, wait, no, I didn't think we were actually going to be in power. I wanted to be a contrarian for the rest of my life because it feels...
No. He's doing shit that's not America first. Knock it off.
Luxury to believe in that and be a right tard. What did you say? A right retard?
Retard.
Oh, she just loves that. She loves that so much.
I think Pat Casey coined that, so I want to give him a shout out. But
okay,
he certainly popularized it.
He just trashed Candace Owens, though. Chrissy, don't do that because you could alienate yourself from that crowd then, too.
You need to pay attention to because it doesn't matter who's in charge. They're just going to be saying, well, I don't like them. And that's one of the things
you. That is, God damn it. Is this the newest cope from the Tim Pool fence sitters? Oh, well, all of these guys who don't like Trump right now, it couldn't be because he's done shit like suck Netanyahu's cock and not do anything that he's promised, not deport enough people, not do anything about housing prices, not stay out of wars that we have no business being in. No, it's just because we're contrarians all the time.
And it's really, really detrimental to the whole country. Totally. They'll align with leftists if they have to. It doesn't matter.
Well, because they have an ideology.
Literally everyone has to be handed a note during Tim Pool's show. All of these Tim Pool guys have to just be handed. Maybe they'll change their ways if they're handed a note that says Trump's not going to fuck you, bro. That might be the only way. That's who that guy is, the All That Remains guy. God, I don't know what's worse, his music or his political takes. It's tough. It's tough. We do have a Trump Truth Social response from all this. Thank you, My Lost Interest, for the $1. Appreciate that. Also $1 from Chevy Fan. He says Aaron once tried to stop and shoot a Schwann's food delivery driver because he forgot the ice cream sandwiches. Yeah, and guess what? People would consider that a good shooting, a legal shooting. Helgi says they read the books How to Win Friends and Influence People and Think and Grow Rich. Tim Pool tried to grift into like the Myron Gaines and Manosphere and dating advice stuff. Oh, that was cringe. That was bad. Let me save you some time and plane tickets next time,
right
Tim.
to CBS News White House reporter Aaron.
If I may, Tim, Chrissy adds nothing to your show. 460 checking out the program right now. Somebody wrote in the chat earlier that Chrissy's last live stream had 56 people watching. Brutal. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow, and throw a couple of memberships our way. We appreciate it. We have Donald Trump's Truth Social post on this. Let's go to that next. Trump's Truth Social.
Let's get right to CBS News White House reporter Aaron Navarro. He's live now with reaction from the White House to all of this. Aaron, the president is weighing in on the incident on Truth Social. What is he saying?
This whole thing is gay.
On Truth Social, quote, it's a horrible thing to watch, but then added, the woman driving the car, in his words, was very disorderly, obstructing and resisting, who then violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer who seems to have shot her in self-defense. That bit about...
I mean, I think some of his phrasing there might be a little dramatic, but I think he's got the general vibe. I mean, she was obstructing. She did take off in a threatening manner. I mean, anytime you speed off in a car that's surrounded by people, it's in a threatening manner. Everybody's going to jump back and feel a little defensive, to say the least. So, I think he got like the hard facts right. He may have embellished a little bit. But again, if this woman wouldn't have been in over her head, at this fucking protest, getting on the field. Like, protest them from the sidewalk. Don't get on the fucking playing field. If she wouldn't have been on the field and she wouldn't have tried to obstruct, or, you know, even if she did obstruct, if she would have surrendered herself, I mean, that's part of like the whole peaceful protest, right? Is you got to get arrested. You know, that's like, hey, I was willing to put up or shut up. I was willing to sacrifice my freedom to, you know, protest this cause. Instead, she tries to speed away like a chicken shit who's like, oh, no, don't get me in trouble. No, I didn't mean it. Too late. It's too late.
Running over the ICE officer seems to be disputed.
You can't let somebody take off flooring it in a vehicle. You don't know who they're going to hit, what kind of property they're going to damage.
By many of the local officials, including Governor Walz, as well as some of the video that we're seeing.
He's not reading this. Based on the attached clip, it is hard to believe he is alive, but he's now recovering in the hospital. The situation is being studied in its entirety, but the reason these incidents are happening is because the radical left is threatening, assaulting, and targeting our law enforcement officers and ICE agents on a daily basis. They are just trying to do the job of making America safe.
President Trump also added the situation is being studied in its entirety and that the ICE officer that has been claimed to be hit or attempted to be run over is in the hospital and is alive and is doing all right. He went on to add that the reason these incidents are happening is because the radical left is threatening, assaulting, and targeting our law enforcement officers. I also want to note that in this long post reacting to what happened in Minnesota, he also shared a clip, a different angle of the vehicle and the shooting than what has primarily been going through being posted on social media, a bit further of an angle, but where you can see the car seem to swipe the ICE officer that shot through the front.
He did, I mean, she did hit the ICE officer. She took off, and the front of her car did make contact with the ICE officer. That's why his first shot was through her windshield, which is, for all intents and purposes, a defensive shot
Of the vehicle. That's been something that President Trump shared on Truth Social and is starting to gain more steam among conservative circles on social media. I also want to note that from the press briefing earlier, kind of before news of this shooting happened, you saw White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt announce several measures that the administration is taking to kind of have oversight, investigate this alleged fraud in Minnesota that has been kind of in their crosshairs in the last month or so. They announced that they're going to audit Medicaid recipients. The Department of Labor is going to look at Minnesota's unemployment program. The Department of Agriculture is going to require Minnesota to conduct recertification for SNAP recipients.
Oh, God. If they, dude, I'm telling you guys right now, there's a lot of people who probably don't regularly watch this show at night. If you need anything on Minnesota and information on what's going on here, let this be your channel. Let this be your show. If they investigate SNAP and food stamps, guys, I'm telling you, that's going to be another really big fraud point. Because what happens, especially with Somalis in the community, it's happened here in St. Cloud. They've arrested people for it in the past, but only because that one was so blatant. I mean, they got caught by an undercover police officer. But if they actually go in and dig around and investigate this, it's going to be hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars, because what Somali grocery stores or restaurants will do is they'll buy food stamps from other Somalis for a percentage, and then they'll get those and they don't have to give out any product. And they'll turn that into the federal government and they'll get the check. They'll get the cash benefit. Meanwhile, they give cash to the person who originally had the food stamps. So maybe they pay 60, 70 cents on the dollar for the food stamps. The other person gets cash on the barrelhead. They turn it into the federal government. They get 100% of the benefit. So they make 30% interest on their money. So if the Department of Ag is going to look into that, that's going to be another big one. Department of Labor, unemployment. I mean, if you have these people who are hiring people at these daycares, hiring people at these healthcare companies, and then quote unquote laying them off, and then they're claiming unemployment benefits, yeah, you could find more fraud there too. I don't think by any means are we done.
Described it as an all hands on deck.
And by the way, Tim Walz is going to absolutely try to use this shooting as a way out of this fraud shit. Ain't going to happen.
Effort from the entire administration to get to the bottom of this alleged fraud in Minnesota. But certainly what happened earlier today continues the focus of Minnesota from this administration.
Aaron, while we have you, I want to ask you about this other breaking news that we're following today. The seizure of 2 oil tanker vessels linked to Venezuela.
Oh, yeah, this is big.
What is the White House saying about
those tankers? I believe were flying Russian flags, or this could be a different one altogether.
those seizures?
Yeah, Levitt added during that press briefing that President Trump is, quote, not afraid of continuing to seize sanctioned oil tankers, and that's what they focused in here. This was the Bella 1, kind of the first one that we heard about, had been sanctioned by U.S. authorities for its prior involvement in Iranian oil trading. That's something that Levitt mentioned. She also mentioned that some of the crew on board, if they don't obey orders from the Coast Guard or Navy SEALs and violate those, they could be subject to prosecution when they return to the U.S. She did not address a question on if this action to seize this tanker that had been last minute registered as a Russian ship could cause conflict between the U.S. and Russia. She again just defended that.
Not if it was last minute, because then what this Venezuelan boat probably did was pretended to be a Russian ship, so it could get around the sanctions on Iran and pretend it's not a Venezuelan ship. That's okay. Well, that makes me feel a little bit better about that part of it, at least. Chevy fan with $1, keeping it $1, says, I wonder what Chrissy Mayer's dad thinks about this shoe. That's mean. I can't. I can't sanction your buffoonery. 460 of you checking out the toe, and I appreciate that very much. We got about 45 minutes left in this evening's show. Why don't you go ahead, gift a couple more memberships, throw a couple of more thank yous and how do you do's our way, and then we don't have that thing to do. We don't want to show our new friends the thing we have to do in 40 minutes. Our new friends don't need to see that. And besides, you guys have done so well tonight. I say keep it going. Gavin Newsom. So we're done with the shooting stuff unless anything new happens. We'll take a look at all that a little bit later. We'll check on it before we head out tonight. We'll see if there's anything new. But we do have some other stuff for tonight's show. In fact, a lot that we're just plain not going to get to. And look, I'm not turning into like a big Gavin Newsom guy, but I'm also on anyone's side who points out that Benny Johnson is retardedly gay. Retardedly gay. And Gavin Newsom did do that. So I got to say, another win for the governor on this one. By the way, Anawal says, we need that as a drop. I do not sanction your buffoonery. You've never heard that before? That's a Jim Carrey thing. Jim Carrey said that Tommy Lee Jones, when they were doing Batman Forever together, he told Norm Macdonald that Tommy Lee Jones came up to him in a restaurant and says, I cannot sanction your buffoonery. I do not sanction your buffoonery. I'll have Jim Carrey tell the story. It's way better that way. That line, I cannot sanction your buffoonery. Can't believe you never heard that before. And goddamn, every time I see a clip of shit like that, I miss Norm Macdonald so much. Norm Macdonald, George Carlin, Patrice O'Neal. I miss all those guys, man. Numero uno Josh Denny fan says, just observed Kumia commenting obsessively and stuttering John's live stream right now. Hypothetically, which is worse, following and liking 13-year-olds or kind of bumping an ICE officer with a car? Anthony, once you kind of deal a little more up close and personal with Anthony and you realize kind of who and what he really is, you can kind of look at that stuff through a clearer lens rather than just a fan. Anthony can be very petty. We teased him about some stuff on this show and he got fucking steel toe. But there is a lot of creepy shit about Anthony. And I think a lot of people didn't mention it, like Carl and others. I don't think they mentioned it because it was uncomfortable, number one, and they needed the clout. What I've learned from taking down the Dabbleverse and beating all of these shows is that I don't need the clout. I got my own community. And my community arguably has more people in it than that community does. I think if you went unique viewers on all our platforms, I bet you there's more unique individuals, more individual people than there are checking out that Dabbleverse. But yeah, when you're like adding stuff from a teenage girl's Amazon wish list and you're like going to prom with a 17-year-old girl, anytime you have to say the phrase, it's legal in New York, that's fucking sketchy. That's really weird. And I feel like a lot of people gave him a pass because they needed the clout. I think it is really fucking uncomfortable. A lot of that teenage shit. And then he got, and then there's the time he got, what's the phrase? He got not honeypotted. He got catfished by a dude who pretended to be a teenage girl. And then he was liking really, really young girls on Vine and shit. He had like a Michaela Maroney, when's she going to be legal countdown. And I mean, people like to go after him for the Sue Lightning thing that he probably fucked a tranny, but like, that's whatever. That's your sexual taste. I don't give a shit. Lord knows I'm not perfect when it comes to like perverse, degenerate shit. But it's the teenage girl shit that's really fucking creepy. Really, really creepy. Numero Uno says, oh, and don't forget his very serious admission that he's seen girls as young as 13 that he'd fuck. Oh, Self-Cutting Girl. That was it. Self-Cutting Girl was the one who turned out to be a guy. Yeah, that was uncomfortable. Yeah, they did say on an episode of that show, they were like, if there were no laws, what would be your cutoff? And he said 13. Yikes. Yikes. Well, thank you guys very much. Continue to hit like, share the show. Things are going very well tonight, and I appreciate that. Go ahead, throw a couple of memberships our way. So Gavin Newsom, I love this. We're going to go to the lighter fare tonight after all of the, almost 2 hours of shooting coverage. Benny Johnson, who I am like, it's not even going to be I told you so when the right-wing commentator Benny Johnson comes out as gay. I mean, he's so gay. No, I mean, you talk about overcompensating with your right-wing guy shit, but you do it in a lispy, weak, limp-wristed voice. I mean, that's Benny Johnson to a T. Even Milo Yiannopoulos, who has a lot of receipts on a lot of people, was yelling at Tim Pool because Tim Pool was doing his fence sitter thing. Tim Pool's kind of the male Chrissy Mayer, where it's like if they have more followers, he'll fucking kiss up to them unless they shit on him first, and then he has to pretend, I'm a tough guy. But Milo Yiannopoulos is yelling at all those guys because they're trying to do fence sitting and like, oh no, Benny Johnson's great. He's MAGA like us. And Milo's like, ask his wife. His wife, 2 conferences in a row, was down in the lobby crying because Benny Johnson was up there with of age teenage boys drinking and doing God knows what. Like, it's a pretty open secret that Benny Johnson is into, might be batting from both sides of the plate and might prefer one more than the other. Well, Gavin Newsom decided to take a shot at old Benny, and I got to admit, guys, it was a pretty good shot. Benny Johnson tweeted this. Fraud announcement. Next week, our team is traveling to the fraud capital of the world, California. The fraud uncovered in Minnesota was very bad and led to the destruction of Tim Walz's career. But Gavin Newsom's California is far worse. So he puts that tweet out. Gavin Newsom press office then responded, we'll make sure Grindr servers are ready. Dude. I mean, that's a win for Gavin Newsom, right? Benny Johnson, by the way, vowed to sue Milo Yiannopoulos about the gay accusations. No lawsuit yet. Because as I keep telling those Dabbleverse people, it ain't defamation if the person's come out and said it. Like when you say you want to have sex with kids, can't sue someone for defamation for pointing it out that you said that. I mean, Benny Johnson coming out as gay is like so long overdue. Like the punchline won't even be funny when it finally happens. He's kind of, in fairness, he's kind of robbing us of that content. Oh, by the way, Tim Pool, not that I wouldn't murder to have these numbers, down to 28,000 people watching him when he goes live. Didn't he used to be like in the hundreds? He's got like 1/10 the audience of Candace Owens now. Him and Ben Shapiro both have kind of turned into pea shooters a little bit. Skousko says Benny Johnson's got his ladybugs ready. Oh, no, you think Benny Johnson's got ladybugs? Oh, God, that's not something I ever want to think about, but now I am. Hey, guys, you know how I said that they might be trying to distract us from something big, maybe a war with Iran or whatever, with all of this fraud and the shooting and all that? I want to take that back. I want to take that back because Iran just made a genius move in the last 24 hours to avoid all that nonsense and avoid all the protests because they're facing a lot of upheaval in their own country. I'm sure we haven't funded any of it. But the Iranian Ayatollahs have completely cut us off at the pass. Iran is announcing a monthly payment of $7 per person as nationwide protests grow over the economy. I got to tell you, that is check and mate, my friend. That is check and mate. It's over, Johnny. $7 a month. Can you beat that? Nope. It's war or nothing. War or nothing. We do have some clips of protesters in Minneapolis chanting "Rise Up" at the vigil in Minneapolis. Oh, my God. You know what? There's a lot of them out on the street. I'm not ruling out anything happening tonight. I'm just glad we haven't heard anything yet. No, but you like that chant? Nobody's illegal on stolen land. That kind of slaps. That's all right. You got us. You got us. I mean, I would say it's conquered land. Stolen, conquered, potato, potato. You know, all right. No one's illegal on stolen land. Wow.
Pay attention to who uses their voice. This isn't the time to be silent. This is the time to rise up and continue to fight for the people. Rest in peace.
Yeah, all those white suburbanites that are down there right now because shit ain't popping off, they're like, yeah, we're going to rise up. They can't kill us all, y'all. Oh, shit, I'm going to head back to the suburbs, thanks. I'm going to go. No, I know. It's okay. You guys are going to march, and I support you, and I'm going to follow you guys on Twitter and TikTok and Instagram and all that. But listen, I got to go. I just realized, you know, my kids got to get ready for school in the morning. I'd love to be here and rise up. That sounds great. And you pouring that gasoline into that bottle with that box of rags next to you, that just looks like you're really, you know, embodying the resistance, and I appreciate it. But I think I left my stove on. They ain't going to hang out very long. They'll, like, these white suburbanites will yell and they'll chant "Rise Up," but when the rising up actually starts to happen, you know what? I don't think if I leave my car here overnight, it might not start in the cold weather. I better make sure I get this home. Mikey Two Milk says rising up sounds like really bad advice. It really does. Like, I'm just going to say tonight's probably not the night to rise up. It's been tried, and it didn't go so well. Yankee says, I wish it was -20 tonight. Well, it's relatively decent weather. It's about, I think it's still, it's still about 30 right now. So they might be able to hang out there a little bit longer than they otherwise would be able to. Helgi says, you're a fucking bitch, pussy. Fuck you. Wait, which one? Chevy Fan says, no one's illegal in Kumia's thoughts. That's not. All right. That's bad advice as well. Brett McCart says Native Americans used to get their shit rocked by herds of deer. Fauci's Pangolin says, rise up, wash your ass. Rise up, wash your ass. I don't. $2 from My Lost Interest says, if you head out to protest, make sure to change your shirt first. What, this? This is my... What are you talking about? This is my protesting shirt. You don't think nobody's going to see me as a threat and shoot me in this. The only thing is they might see me as the gay one in the protest. There's no way of really fighting that charge, is there? Thank you to Helgi for the $5. He says it's about 6-7 here. Oh, I don't get it. Thank you guys very much for those contributions. 50 memberships away from 500. Thank you very much. Mad Move says, I heard an ugly dyke was shot in the face today. So glad to hear it wasn't you. Thank you. I'm glad that I'm on your mind and you're concerned for me. That's very touching. I don't know what the ugly dyke part would have to do with it at all. I think I'm a very attractive dyke. Chevy Fan says, funny this happened during the House Committee oversight for Minnesota fraud. What an odd irony, right? Do we have that? We do have clips of that. It's yeah, we've got a series of clips on that if you'd like to watch it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I got 4 clips from this hearing today. Yeah, there was a congressional hearing on Minnesota fraud, and I don't know why Minnesota just doesn't make the official statement of like, yeah, we fucked up. This isn't good. We're going to do better. We're going to catch everybody. Like, we already have thrown people in prison for this. And I know there's white judges, white liberal lady judges, who have let people out for no fucking reason. But there's nothing wrong with going, yeah, we got ripped off. We took our eye off the ball, and we're going to work really hard to fix it. There's still that denial that anything's even happened here from some of these people. It's fucking gross. Keep going. Keep doing your thing. Let's get to some of these. Oh, God, the first tweet's from Benny Johnson. Benny Grinder Johnson. Thank God he wasn't the one speaking. This is our first clip we have of the Somali fraud investigations.
Value. Again, thank you for being here. Let me ask you, does large-scale Somali immigration make Minnesota stronger or weaker?
Certainly stronger.
Certainly, yeah. What are you, fucking gay, dude? Of course it's stronger. It's like way stronger.
Stronger. Do you know what percentage of Somali-headed households in Minnesota are on food stamps?
Don't ask that. Don't answer.
54%. Do you know what that number is for native Minnesota-headed households?
I'm going to say, let's see, 54% for Somalis. I'm going to say 42, 43, pretty close. Right?
Well, to be clear, a majority of the...
It's 7%. There's a big...
Oh, I was way off. 7. That makes us sound pretty self-sufficient. Now, is that including the Somalis? So, is the 54% of Somalis in the 7? Because take them out, and we're probably maybe down under 5. Or as I like to call us, the wonderful whites of Minnesota.
Difference between 54% and 7%, is there not?
Excuse me, sir. Could I answer the question?
Let me move on. We've got a lot of questions here. What percentage of Somali-headed households in Minnesota are on Medicaid?
25 would be a big number. 25 would be a very dependent number.
I don't know.
It's 73%.
That's a lot. 73 is way more than 25. Okay, let me try and play this game again. I'm starting to think maybe these Somalis are taking more money than they're contributing. And that's before you even factor in all the fucking remittances to Somalia.
Do you know what that number is for Minnesota native households?
Again,
I'm going to say, what did you say, 70-some Medicaid. We got a lot of old people here, so I'm going to say 35%.
Using the phrase Minnesota native households, but the majority...
The number is 18%.
That's half. That's about half of what I said. I'm not doing well at this game, I tell you. Just trying to protect my Somali brothers and sisters.
Quite an astounding difference. I think we would agree.
Can I answer the question, please?
Let me ask you one more, and then we can go on to that. What percentage of Somali-headed households are on welfare in general?
I don't know.
It's 81%. What about...
That's a fucking shitload. That's a lot. I didn't even have a number for you.
Let me just ask you, after 10 years of being in the United States, what percentage of Somali immigrant households continue to be on welfare?
Okay, after 10 years, you go from 81%. It's got to be 10 years. You're self-sufficient by then. Otherwise, that would mean for 10 years, we've been footing the bill for you. 35%. I mean, that would be a shockingly high number, but 35%.
I don't know.
The number is 78%.
That's still a metric shit ton. That is not a lot of movement in that number whatsoever. That I cannot sanction this buffoonery. I'm starting to think that we might be fucked on this whole Somali thing.
So even after 10 years, 78% of Somali immigrant households continue to be on welfare. Do you know what that number is for native Minnesota-headed households?
25%.
Again, you're using
non-Somali immigrant-headed households.
If I can just answer the question, when you're using
Listen to these fucking white liberal limp-dicked retards. Instead of like, let's focus on the numbers and learn something here and figure something out, they're busy. Define native Minnesotan racist. I so got him. Who gives a shit that 8 out of 10 Somalis are on the dole, right? Fucking Inspector Gadget looking motherfucker.
Phrase native Minnesotans, the majority of Somali Minnesotans are as Minnesotan as any of us. They were born in.
I saw one today at Quick Trip. She had the fucking cell phone tucked in the hijab, and she's checking out at Quick Trip. Shut up. I got some ice cream because my tooth really hurt. It felt good to have the ice. Fuck off, all right? I don't need you judging me. And I needed a bubbler for tomorrow morning's show. Eat my ass. Look, the point is, focus on the Somali here. This Somali woman had the phone tucked into the hijab. She's on the phone. She's at the checkout. Cannot speak English to save her soul. The checkout guy is trying to ask her shit. Oh, she also has gas she needs to pay for, but she can't tell the guy in English which pump it is, so she starts pointing. Just outside, vaguely pointing, and she goes, over there. Over there. And he's like, well, do you? And then he stops because she goes, hamalama ding dong, hamalama do, hamalama hamalama dee da. It's like the guy's fucking talking to you. It's like, come on, shit's moving. Let's go. She's got to stop to have her phone conversation. I mean, in fairness, they may have been breaking down the door to investigate their daycare, but it was just rude. It's fucking rude to the guy at the counter. It's rude to everybody in line. It was just what I was really put off with was just her lack of regard for anybody else in the world but her. It just really, it's like when old people want to play scratch-offs at the checkout. Like, eat shit. I'm trying to get diabetes quick.
The United States, it's only 8,000 of the 108,000 Somali.
Nevertheless, the welfare usage is astoundingly different. Let me ask you again, does that make Minnesota stronger or weaker?
Again, I'd like the opportunity to answer the question here.
Go for
it. Again, the majority of Somali Minnesotans are born in the United States, as I understand it.
Okay, well, what percentage of working-age Somalians who have been in the U.S. for 10 years or more, how many of them speak English very well?
45%. That's a low number. It should be more than that, but let's go 45.
I don't know.
About half.
Oh.
The answer is about half. That seems pretty low, doesn't it?
Well, I have really shitty low standards for immigrants, so 50 is that number doesn't surprise me. And that's probably sad that number doesn't surprise me. But it doesn't surprise me. I'm being honest. By the way, Rabbi Smoothie says then the winged hussar. No, that winged hussars is our $50 drop. Don't get my hopes up thinking the winged hussars need to play. They don't. This Republican faggot is just trying to get his soundbite in, and that's it. Well, yeah, that's all they do. You've been here before, right? That's what they do. They sit there and they get their little soundbite. Now everyone's be like, this guy's super based. And now he doesn't have to do anything for another 2 or 3 years. It's a pretty sweet job. So now here's Tom Emmer. I hope Tom Emmer runs for governor or Senate again. I like Tom. He's a little Zionist-y for my taste. He's a little old school Republican, but he's an old white Republican. That's how they are. But he's kind of a pit bull. He's kind of an attack dog. This is him asking questions. Because remember, Tom Emmer's legit on this one. He was back in 2015. He was warning us about this shit.
There was a hearing in the state regarding the fraudulent housing stabilization.
I'm sorry, I'm interrupting. Hit the like button. I was actually semi-friendly with Tom Emmer when I was working in Litchfield. He came on my show 3 or 4 times, and we'd have these little sparring matches because I was a little more liberal back then, and he would smoke, man. He was good. And he would bust your balls like in a fun way, like a dude. And he would be like, you mean to tell me that you're going to sit there with that $15 Supercuts haircut you've got, and you're going to tell me that you know what's going on in the state of Minnesota? And I'm like, I had to laugh. I thought it was funny. I was like 22, 23. I fancied myself like a Jon Stewart. I'm just a funny, wacky guy who's got some ideas. And then I'm doing my show live at the Meeker County Fair. Tom Emmer's walking by doing a campaign thing. He stops at our booth. He goes, hey, I still see you got that same cheap haircut. How you doing? He comes over, he shakes my hand. Tom Emmer's a pretty chill dude.
Program, but before that hearing, Governor Walz fired the official who was slated to testify so that they could not testify and expose what was happening under Governor Walz's watch. Has Governor
I hope you die.
Walz or Attorney General Ellison fired anyone else to your knowledge, Representative?
Not to my knowledge, and that was Eric Rumdahl, and his administration believes that he was not fired, but I say he was fired because it was too convenient.
So that's one of the whistleblowers, by the way, and he's not the only one. There are multiple whistleblowers that said they brought their concerns about fraud to the legislative auditor and to the Walz administration, and that shortly thereafter they were let go. The legislative auditor sent information back that said, well, guys, we can't really move on this right now because they're a very delicate voting block. Yay. Helgi with $5 says, sorry, I don't know nothing. Even though we track your entire life in some Google data center using 2.5 million gallons of water a day in the panhandle of Texas in a water scarce region, but it's whatevs. I'm sorry. I feel like I've done something wrong. I do. I will admit. I feel like I've now done something wrong. Rabbi Smoothie with a big $50 says, but they do. All right. I will say this. I'm very happy to see one of those. And we got a lot of new friends tonight on the show. I'd really like to see them not see our 825 thing. You guys are very, very close right now. I say just keep gifting those memberships and throwing a couple bucks here and there. And then come 825, we won't have to do that thing. I appreciate you. I respect you. This is a really good chat right here. Joey Wales says, is Trump, and he might be new because he doesn't have a membership, so let's get him one. Josie Wales says, is Trump a Zionist? What are the protocols of Zion? I don't think that Trump is a Zionist. I don't, I'm sorry. I think Trump is paid very well by Zionists to push their agenda. And he needed them really bad this time around because if he didn't get funding and if he didn't win, he was going to jail. And I do think that he is, I don't know, the word slave seems so dramatic, but I think that he is a useful idiot for Zionism. How's that? Lander says Trump is definitely a Zionist, and I am personally waiting for him to enact Noahide laws. I think that, and I also think Trump's an opportunist more than anything else. So this is Representative Nancy Mace. We all love her. She's a little fucking pistol, this Nancy Mace. She wants to get in on the act. And, Sam Show's right. All of these people are showboating, but this Somali fraud thing is a really easy slam dunk to get some campaign clips out there. You hold people accountable in Washington for your reelection campaign. This is going to turn a lot of Congress people into senators, a lot of senators into governors. This is going to be a star maker for a lot of these people.
Question is, should Somalians who committed fraud be denaturalized and deported, Mr. Bayou?
Again,
Yes
I'm not
or
sure
no?
that's an appropriate question because the majority of Somali
So if you
Minnesotans
commit
are
fraud in
citizens.
this
Is this Baloo as dumb as the bear Baloo in the Jungle Book? Because they both seem pretty retarded. Or am I offending Baloo from the Jungle Book?
country,
He's more of a King Louis type.
and you are here from Somalia, you don't believe they should be denaturalized and deported. How
Again,
much
most-
fraud would it take for you to want to denaturalize and deport someone who committed fraud in this country? How much?
Again,
A
Ms.
billion?
Mace,
9 billion? 19 billion? What would it take for you?
most Somali Minnesotans are citizens.
Right. She's asking if they should be denaturalized and deported. He's not asking you for, oh, now all of a sudden this motherfucker knows statistics and he knows data. Before he didn't know any percentages when it was how many Somalis are on welfare. Now he knows statistics. Oh, he talks English now. Let's talk Turkey, motherfucker.
Right. And the ones that committed fraud.
He's got a little bit of a Guy Smiley chin, too. Anyway, continue. I'm being distracted.
The question was, if you understand English, should be those who committed fraud, should they be denaturalized and deported?
There's nothing more dehumanizing as a man when, like, some woman that, like, some little slight of stature woman just bitches you out and makes you feel like a cuck. Oh, is that the worst? Not that I would know anything about that.
Somalians who are here, the ones that can't speak English.
Yeah, so under U.S. law...
Okay, my next question for you
Can I please finish the question?
No, you can't because you're not answering the question. My next question is, this is yes or no. If you,
I like her. She's a bitch. I mean that as a compliment. I do.
You marry your brother and you commit immigration fraud,
Uh-oh.
should you be denaturalized?
Who's she talking about? She talking about Senator Kennedy? That rat bastard. Is she talking about him?
Deported.
Again,
if you commit immigration fraud, yes or no?
Again, that question seems really inappropriate. And if I can get
Well,
back
you
to
can't
your
answer my question, so that's probably more inappropriate. Can you?
I think what's really inappropriate is that all these people who are supposed to be in charge of finding fraud and deporting people and shit like that are so very clearly politically biased. And that's right or left. Like, they wear it on their sleeves. It's really disconcerting. Because, like, nothing's getting done because you're just pursuing an agenda. You shouldn't be in that job.
Name one significant contribution to Minnesota from a Somali immigrant.
Don't do that.
who can't speak
Let's not
English.
do this.
Absolutely, yes. But again,
What do they do? Don't be like Piers Morgan and say, I like chicken masala. Shut up, faggot. We're not selling our culture for food. Stop it. I don't give a shit what Italians cooked. They worked really hard.
You didn't name.
If they sat on their ass on welfare when they came over here, I'd gladly get rid of lasagna to kick their ass across the ocean. But I mean, find me better bricklayers and cops.
One. All right. So my next questions are going to be for the Honorable Ms. Robbins. Good afternoon. Thank you all for being here today.
She's really nice to her. I mean, that other guy, boy, he's getting his fucking dick kicked into the roof of his mouth during this hearing. Ouch. That really stings. $5 from Samuel. He says, deport all Somalians who are on welfare or are complicit in fraud, no matter the extent, even so much as 1 penny. Oh, by the way, Rabbi Smoothie, by the way, good to see you again, Rabbi. We haven't seen the Rabbi for a minute, it feels like. Thanks for being here. $1 from, Rabbi Smoothie's at 51 now. I think I might have to put him in the top 5. There we go. Sam Show says she's got no ass and no tits. Explains why Aaron likes her. That's mean. Rabbi Smoothie with $1 says even the toe gives you a dollar amount when asked. Right, exactly. I could do this guy's job better than he could because when you ask me for a number, I give you a number. I can't give you a certain number for another 8 minutes, but let's just say if we get 5 gifted memberships, I don't have to give you a number in 8 minutes. What do you say, guys? Chevy fan with $1 says Somalians contribute billions of profits to auto body shops across Minnesota. And then they jack the fuck out of our car insurance rates. That doesn't seem like the win you're pitching it as. All right, now we have Representative James Comer. Opening statement at a hearing on alleged misuse of federal funds in Minnesota.
Good morning. Today, the House Oversight Committee is holding its first hearing on the massive fraud in
that Haley's dad?
Minnesota's.
He's so ashamed. He's like, my daughter takes it black. Oh, her coffee? No.
Social Services Program. Minnesota's social services, which are funded by you, the American taxpayer, are being ripped off. The most vulnerable are suffering as a result. Federal prosecutors estimate that these criminals have stolen at least $9 billion.
That's a lot.
The The fraudsters, many of whom are from Minnesota's Somali community, have stolen from programs meant to feed needy kids, provide services to autistic children, house low-income and disabled Americans, and provide health care to vulnerable Medicaid recipients.
This is the first I'm hearing of this. No, we've all heard this part before. I want to get back to the interviews. We've still got one more clip. $5 from Arch Magus Tim. He says, for the Guy Smiley reference. I knew somebody would like a Guy Smiley reference. How can you not? On a Wall, gifting a membership. Thank you very much, pal. I appreciate that. You're the man. I'm not saying 4 more memberships makes me a happy boy. I'm just saying, you know, Halada Vagina is the one who got that membership. Thank you very much. Oh, and whatever we have in the bank for extra from going over this week has to be used tonight or it rolls over to Monday. God damn. I just started a body fab shop. I've made $300 million in the last 2 months because I started following TrekTalk.com. I didn't read that one ahead of time, you dirty little fuck. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. That gifted membership puts us, 49 away from 500. All right, we got one more clip from the... Oh, no, that was our last one from the fraud hearing. Aww. I just don't want to hear this Southern guy droll on. Read this list of how boomers are low-key offending Gen Z all the time. Fuck off. I hate Not The Bee. Not The Bee is a boomer site. That Seth Dillon is such a millennial / Gen X boomer. These guys, here's how you can tell. You know this civil war on the right? And I guess I'm more right than left on most shit, but like, you can tell who the cool righties are and who the gay righties are based on how they feel about Gen Z. If you feel like Gen Z is based and kind of fun and 6-7 rules, then although that's Gen Alpha, but still, Gen Alpha is awesome. Gen Z is really cool. Gen Z has kind of taken the bravado of the millennials. We have a lot of fuck you in us. We have a lot of bravado, but we're also like, well, that's not appropriate to say right now. You know, we're kind of the PC police. We kind of brought that whole woke shit to the table. And now Gen Z has the same fuck you in them that we do, but they're also like, not only are we going to say this shit, we're also going to spice it up to see if we can piss people off. So if you're on the right and you're like, thick and Gen Z, and you're like pro-boomer, you're gay. If you think Gen Z kind of rules and you're a little jealous of them, you're good. You're good. Not The Bee. This is awful. Honestly, if I do this, nobody's going to give us money, nor should they. Thank you, Rabbi Smoothie, for gifting a membership. What a guy. 48 memberships away from 500 and 3 more memberships, and I don't have to tell our new friends about that thing we do the last 5 minutes. Awesome. Thank you guys very much. You're so articulate. This triggers Gen Z. No, it doesn't. You clean up nicely. That nobody in Gen Z is triggered by. Where are they getting this from? You're so tech savvy. You're mature for your age. You're not like other millennials and Gen Zers. Back in my day, we would have been grateful for that. Nobody fucking cares. And then at the end of this Not The Bee story, keep it up, boomers. We love your work. No, but this is the tragedy of these cornballs like Seth Dillon and the Babylon Bee and boomers in general. They're so terrified of being forgotten as they get older that they act like they're more relevant than they are. They're upsetting Gen Z so much. Dude, I follow a lot of this Gen Z shit. They are not intimidated by you guys at all. In fact, they think you're kind of gay. They think you're lame. They don't think you're a lot of fun. If anything, Gen Z kind of reinvigorates us millennials and gives us some of our fuck you swagger back. You know? I think that's why millennials actually like Nick Fuentes. Because they're like, boy, this kid's a wretched little dickhead. And boomers are like, I know, I'd really like to smack him in the mouth. And we're like, no. We mean that as a compliment. Like, he's a little shitbag. You know you could stomp him out, but that doesn't stop him from talking shit right to you. You got to respect it, I think. Thank you very much. Who was the Rabbi Smoothie? So now he's at 56. He in the top 5 yet? I got to make sure oh, not quite. Lab Glass is at 60. 60 is the bottom rung of the ladder for that. Thank you guys very much for that generosity. boomers always hate the current youngest generation. I know. That's what boomers always told me, too. They go, when you get older, you'll hate the generation that comes after you. I'm like, yeah, but we don't. We think they're kind of based. I think that really is just a boomer thing. Like the greatest generation, they thought the boomers were hippies and stuff, but they tried their best to provide for them. I don't know. I don't get it. All right, guys, I will give you the number. We will have to do it for our friends. We will have to do it for our new friends. Let's see. Let's see if we can rally to this. You know what? I've got a good one for tonight. I'll do an instrumental version. Maybe it won't fuck us up. Here you go. Let's light the lamp. All right, Rumble Rants if you're on the side of the person who got shot by ICE. Gifted memberships if you're on the side of ICE. We're going to go until this one's done or until we're done. The number for tonight, $15. Let's do 3 gifted memberships, whatever the case may be. Main Vein says, Chevy fan is spot on. One of these subhuman creatures hit me pulling into my driveway last month. $7,500 in repairs. Give every Somali in this country a choice. Jesus, I can't read that last part. Oh, speaking of Main Vein, literally everyone that I owe merch to, except Cockdiff, because he hasn't given me his size yet. Wait, no, never mind. I did get Cockdiffs today. Or did he not give me? No, I'm pretty sure I got Cockdiff. I got everybody is ordered except Main Vein, who has not sent me his information yet. Main Vein, send me your info. I can get your shit sent out to you. Until then, $15 away from a perfect week of evening shows. Ice, ice, baby. Let's go, baby. Let's go. What do you got for the toe? Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Let's get that last 15 all cleaned up for our new friends. My Lost Interest with a gifted membership, and then Rabbi Smoothie with 5 gifted memberships for the win.
Wanna fuck? Let's fuck!
There we go. All right, guys, stop, collaborate, and listen. No more money. No more money. What a great night. Thank you very, very much. Now I got to do math. What are we, 10, add 15 to the bank? That's 20. We got to put that towards tomorrow now because there's no more banking. Thank you very much. It's another win for the toe. Well, now let's not play music for you guys. We don't need any more gifted memberships. I appreciate all your support. Let's go back and watch the protest.
Yo, here, capturing this. Nice talking to you. Hey, are you on Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy looked like an indie wrestler. I feel so bad for anyone who has to drive in Minneapolis tonight. That sucks ass. That really does suck. Oh, by the way, Dylan, thank you for the $5 on PayPal, buddy. I appreciate that. Very cool of you. You guys have given us an amazing night tonight. $5 from Sam says, for those of you in the St. Cloud area, if you get T-boned by a Somali, remember to call All Care Towing, 320-253-5203. Real quick, I gotta fix the standings here because Rabbi Smoothie is now at, what's 57 and 25, $82. And Lab Glass is dropping out at 60. Sorry, Lab Glass, and thank you, Rabbi Smoothie. Back to the protest.
So Renee Good is the woman who was shot today by ICE officers. And from what I heard, she has 3 young kids. So, again, she killed by ICE, a mother of 3, all for observing, keep people safe and observing and responding to ICE raids. What so many people are doing across the country now, people are organizing to protect their neighbors, and you have these rogue agents terrorizing communities and killing people. It was only a matter of time when that was going to happen, and today was the day that it happened.
I don't see any cops on the street yet, and the numbers are starting to pick up. It's 8:30 in Minnesota right now. Okay, so things are picking up so far. Nothing's getting violent quite yet, but again, you never know. You never know where this is going to end up. I hope we're not heading for George Floyd, too. I mean, we'll have all the coverage tomorrow morning. We'll get you all caught up. I do want to thank Luxray Luxor for gifting a membership. Scousko says, no quick trip tonight, fatty. I am driving to SPs, too, so I gotta stay away. $1 from Hulkamash. Hulkamash says, well, tomorrow is going to suck ass. Got to drive down there for work. Ugh. $1 from Main Vein says, sorry, dude, work and kids. Don't rush me about the merch. I'm excited most about the anniversary show. Hopefully I can get time off from work and drive out there. We're going to have 2 live events this summer, and I'm very excited for them. So get ready, my friend. Get ready. Thank you guys very much for giving us an amazing show. Almost 500 of you at our peak, which I really appreciate. Make sure you hit like and you follow the show on your way out. And again, tomorrow morning, we're going to be covering all of this again with whatever new